The views, information, or opinions expressed during the Geeks Under the Influence podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of RVA Magazine, Loot Crate, amzn.to, or their employees. Listener discretion is advised. Fuck off if you don't like it.
Mike the Hobbit here, ready to bring you another action-packed episode of Geeks Under the Influence. But before we continue with that, let's talk about our sponsors, the ones that make this possible, so we can continue on with this amazing podcast. First up, of course, is amzn.com. They've been with us for a while. You can find a link to amzn.com through our homepage at guypodcast.com. Click on the Amazon affiliate link, and anything you purchase through that link, we get a little bit of a profit. So it's a way to buy all the amazing stuff that you can find on Amazon and help out your favorite podcast at the same time. Welcome to 2017, and the best way for you to celebrate 2017 is to get on Loot Crate. They're sponsors of this podcast, and you are able to help out this podcast and get cool shit at the same time. Last month in December, their crate was Revolution with stuff from Mr. Robot, Assassin's Creed, and Firefly. Next month is Origins with merch from Superman, Marvel, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Nintendo. If you go through our link at guypodcast.com under the sponsors page, click through there and use the code SAVE3, you're able to get $3 off of your crate, and you're able to support this podcast at the same time. And trust me, we were fans of Loot Crate before we even got the sponsorship. It's well worth it, and it's a way for you to get cool shit, a little present, not just in December for the holidays, but throughout the entire year. So check it out, support this podcast, and get some cool stuff. Remember, save 3 for $3 off your first crate. And that's about it. Join the conversation. Hit us up on Twitter at GUI Podcast RVA, or Facebook. Just look up Geeks Under the Influence. Instagram, Geeks Under the Influence, all one word. Or just go to GUIPodcast.com. It's got all our links there. Now on to the episode.
Under the influence.
It's in my brain. We're about to partake in something much bigger than us. And apparently my mic is on. So.
It's like that was queued up almost. Like
I like that. That's how everybody's going to hear us start. Is like we're about to partake in something much bigger than us. That like we're talking about the podcast, which is not at all what was happening.
Actually, that's kind of what I was referring to, but in a joking sense.
Okay, fair enough. Sarcastic sense.
Very much sarcastic.
Yeah.
Where's my sarcastic font?
I like that we were talking about the Dancing in the Street video and stuff. It used to be the literal translation music videos where they would just describe what was happening on the screen was the big thing.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's just take the music out entirely, so you hear like sneakers squeaking and shit when they're dancing around.
I will tell you one thing, that if you've never done it before, if you find a DVD of a movie that's got the descriptive audio track on it, watch it with that. Drink heavily and watch it with that. I ripped a copy of Kick-Ass 2 at one point, and it fucked up. The audio fucked up in the middle of it. The only thing that would play was the descriptive audio track. So while things are happening on the screen and you hear the words, there's another voice over top of it describing everything. So you hear him run into the room, and you go, "The motherfucker enters the room." Like they just, it's fucking hilarious. So there's just this old guy in the background describing everything, and it makes it 10 times fucking funnier.
God damn.
Kick-Ass walks in.
Apparently there's another thing where there's like a really poor subtitle done of some movie. I think it might have been Force Awakens in like China or something.
Oh, Lord.
That the English subtitle for it is like completely bonkers terrible. And
Isn't it usually like that with anything from...
But somebody actually took the subtitle and actually did an audio take of the subtitling.
Oh, Jesus.
So it's like somebody doing like dubbing of the English subtitle of the English movie.
Shitty English subtitle.
So meta that it hurts your brain a little bit.
it really bothers me when people say they prefer dubbing over subtitles on foreign movies. I fucking hate dubbing.
It's so horrible. You gotta watch it and you just see this like.
What are you talking about?
It's like I can't read and watch the movie. It's like yeah, you can. It's really not that difficult. So
it makes it better. Subtitles.
Did you
make
not
it better.
see? I worked hard learning to do that ventriloquist work.
Moving your mouth?
No, by going, "Come here."
I like moving your tongue though.
I will fight you.
Come over here. Try that.
No.
Oh, okay.
You do not get to partake in. Apparently, partake is my word for the night.
We should just play out Wayne's World 2 scene.
Have you seen the music list ending the
When I date my daughter.
doing the whole like.
Where they're just standing there looking at each other.
Like when they're walking, they just open the door, they walk in, it's quiet, you hear footsteps, and like a couple people cough. And then like every once in a while, you hear someone, you hear like the guy in the Chewbacca suit actually did scream.
Oh really?
Yeah. So they dubbed over Chewbacca, but then you just hear like.
It's just some random.
Exactly. So anytime he screams, he does the whatever the fuck it is. You know.
Mouth gurgle.
Yeah.
Mouth gurgle. The guy actually screamed. I thought it was pretty scary.
Nice.
It freaked me out. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. Freaked me out a little bit.
Nice.
No.
There was a thing I saw today that this is also a new thing where somebody took, was it All Star by the Smash Mouth? And it was
any
all
song.
It was all in C. So it was just like, hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're an all-star.
What I've seen is that huge fat guy that takes any song and puts the lyrics from All Star over top of it, like metal songs or pop songs, anything. Like he uses the music and just sings the lyrics to All Star, and he matches up like horrifically well.
Why would you do that?
That sounds terrible.
It is. I don't know, but he's become like the guy made $1 million.
Yeah, we can shit talk him if he's making money off of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Smarter than us.
It's like the kid in Canada who's tells the weather or something. Have you ever seen this kid?
Mm-mm.
He's I think he's autistic.
No, not. Are you not talking chocolate rain? Are you?
No.
Because it doesn't
Tazon
actually
Day.
rain chocolate.
No.
He follows
That
me
might
on
be-
Twitter.
He follows me on Twitter.
Do you know what I'm
Follows
talking about?
everybody on
Yeah,
Twitter.
probably.
Yeah. What's that?
You've seen him before? Like he's
No, I
an
haven't seen
autistic kid. He's a Canadian like sensation on YouTube, and he does these YouTube videos where he like
So
tells.
those are words that don't normally
Yeah,
go
I was
together.
gonna say he's an autistic.
I know
Canadian
this because I work
sensation.
at a bar that's owned by Canadians. So they tell you these things and they'll show you the videos. You can see it on YouTube. He just goes out and he tells the weather in some form or fashion. He's like, it's going to be like this today. And it's a 30-minute long video. Every video is like 30 minutes long. That's all he does. And Canada loves it. I mean, they fucking love it.
Well,
like
Canada
probably
is Canada.
more than they do
There's not
Nickelback.
a lot going on in Canada, so like they just got to go with what. Yeah, the other option is Nickelback
Yeah,
or Celine
right.
Dion. So
Which they're-
Justin Bieber,
They do have a lot of weed.
although they don't like claim
Jim
to.
Carrey.
that's why they
can
don't
hold
give
on
a
to.
shit. They're
Yeah.
just like, sure,
I mean,
yeah. Tell me the
yeah,
weather.
seriously.
I'm baked right
Okay.
now.
I mean, I'm totally down for the complete legalization of weed, so that's a big plus for me.
But yeah, we're not talking about Canada more than we usually do, I guess.
This is not the South Park episode.
Blame
No.
Canada.
Canada.
Which, little known fact, our friend Todsky from the YMM podcast, his middle name is Canadian Sensation. So I don't know if you guys knew that.
You don't have real bacon.
It's not real. It's not bacon. It's
Oh,
silver
man.
dollar ham.
I think
rather
this
eat-
is the 4th podcast where that shit's come up. About Canadian
That's
bacon.
the first thing I think of when I hear Canada. Is no bacon.
It's not no real bacon.
No real bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
No,
but
it's no bacon.
tonight we are
It's in
talking
a circle.
about reboots and rebirths. We're talking both comic books, television, movies. Anytime that something's been rebooted or a rebirth.
Let's just reboot Canada.
An example of a rebirth would be like rebooting Canada.
We're gonna call it Canada.
Canada.
It's like, we know you got pigs, so because you got ham, so why the fuck can't you have bacon?
A Marinadia.
Damn it.
You're so
Sorry, I
passionate
brought that
about
back.
this
I
bacon
didn't mean
thing.
Just call it Flanneladia. Call it a day.
Flanneladia.
Flanneladia.
I think that's a porn genre.
That's yeah.
Women in flannel.
Or men in flannel.
So Canadian porn.
Whatever floats your boat there.
Yeah.
Big bushes.
Yeah.
Big
But,
bushes.
A
hey.
rebirth, for example, would be
Hey, put it in her a-hole.
like no, it'd be a-hole A, wouldn't it be?
I'm pretty sure the beer's kicking in.
Snip that hair away. Eh?
Oh, God damn it.
I hear you guys like Bush.
Did you see dip into that bush, eh?
I mean, 16 Stone was a pretty good album.
Balbum?
Album.
Album.
That's
Did
how
you
they
listen
say
to it in
album
the
in
Shire?
Canada, right?
I don't know if you knew
Damn,
that, like,
bad.
Canadians say A, except Quebec, they use B's instead. So that's on the front of the words to try to be different. That's a thing. It's not true. We're talking reboots and rebirths.
D-Rex.
Or hopefully in the near future, talking reboots and rebirths. So thank you guys so much for listening. And for those watching on the YouTubes, hello. Thank you for joining us and welcome. I'm Mike the Hobbit Bickett, host of Geeks Under the Influence. You can find me on Twitter at Mike Bickett, or follow Geeks Under the Influence at GUI Podcast RVA. Follow all our other social media stuff at GUIPodcast.com. Join the conversation. Let us know what you want to hear on future episodes, what you hated, loved about past episodes, panelists that you want to see on more, because we got a bunch of them, bunch of panelists. And speaking of panelists, let's go over who is sitting here being dicks to me all night.
Some things never
He
change.
says
Because-
it's like he's surprised.
Because apparently one thing that needed a reboot was the Chargers.
Perfect fucking timing.
Oh, shit.
Damn it.
I mean,
Yeah.
Kick-ass logo and everything.
Yeah, man.
LA Chargers is like the RoboCop remake. Like, it's a bad decision. It doesn't hold a candle to the original.
It's like L.A., but the bottom of the L has like a dog penis on it.
Red Rocket.
LA Chargers logo looks like a thing that a kid would draw on the bottom of his skateboard like in 1983 and thought he was really cool.
We're gonna totally rip off Metallica's
I
logo.
was gonna
but
say,
like,
It'd be LA, but yeah, with the letters
Yeah.
coming out with the lightning bolts, and yeah, no. Oh God, I'm so upset. But next to me, basking in my pain,
oh yeah,
enjoying every second of it,
oh yeah,
is the sexual chocolate,
yeah.
the mulatto magic, Mr. Lowdown Brian MacGyver's with us.
What's up, guys?
Very happy that your shitty team hasn't changed ever, right? It's always
My
been
team's not shitty. What was the record again?
well better than.
Oh wait, who beat you?
But
Who beat the Chargers?
the Browns.
The
the
Browns.
Browns. Yeah.
So wait, shitty team.
Yes.
We had a 10-6 record. We went winning into the play. We went into the playoffs.
You went into the playoffs. Period.
Exactly.
It's
You
so
didn't
bad
lose
his
to the
team
Browns.
walked away from their own city. The bucket. Bucket.
We're not even Chargers fans
Yeah,
anymore.
we're not even.
No, that's the thing. You can talk shit about the Chargers all you want because they're not my team anymore. So like it doesn't even affect me.
This is your one divorce. So
Doesn't
you
even
go
affect
with
me.
It doesn't.
Internal
So
tier.
does that mean the Niners didn't kick the shit out of a team back in '95? I guess that's
Why are
true.
you talking 20 years ago? Who cares?
Yeah.
Because I'm a fucking Niners fan, and I have to think about 20 years
Back when
ago.
you
Well,
had
you could think,
some
like, 4
non-gray
years ago when
hair.
we went to the playoffs.
We don't have any
He's just
Super Bowl
talking to
rings,
our
so-
demographic.
Yeah.
You know, people from 20 years older.
Yeah, our demographic, a bunch of people that give a shit about football. No, that's not. Next to Lowdown Brown is the Baldado magic, the Philly fan, the piece of
Which
shit.
you may actually come over to.
No, I won't ever. That
He
won't
says
happen.
that now.
No.
But we don't have rings. You didn't have any rings.
Stand outside his window with the come to my window.
You don't
Oh,
have
gosh.
rings either, dude.
Now I
I'm
need
going to say anything the fuck out of you.
now I need to do a montage video of the San Diego Chargers with "If you liked it, then you should have put a ring on it."
You heard it here first.
Yes, that's gonna happen.
right,
Of course,
2000.
Mr. Kyle Smash is with us,
Hello, everyone.
bringing his terrible opinions to the table.
Like that Flyers had.
Yeah. Oh, terrible. It's terrible.
Here we go. Don't worry. Hobbit will be over to the dark side soon.
No,
You know what's
that
great
won't-
about that hat? It's not just going to pick up and move to another city.
And that's a good point.
It's going to keep his head warm.
Pete.
We've
These segues are great.
we
by the
don't
way.
we've sucked the whole time. At least we stuck with our city.
That is very true. I give that to them.
Especially
I mean, your
with
city
the
stuck
kind
with
of
you, too.
fandom that you have there, like it's hard to stick to that city.
Bit murderous.
Yeah, a little murderous.
Didn't you all try to kill Santa
Don't you like our
Claus?
team? Stab.
They have a prison in there, Lincoln Financial.
Lincoln,
Excuse
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Use your brain.
He's like that
Brain
place,
fart, yeah.
that place where they play.
They have a jail in there for a reason.
I promise our listeners we will get to movies and TV shows and comic books very shortly.
It'll happen, guys. Be patient.
One that will help with that because not a sports ball fan, as far as I know.
I don't like the sports ball.
No sports balls. Is
I have no sports balls.
no sports balls.
Zero balls.
Zero sports balls.
I can attest to that, guys. What?
Is Mr. Carlton is here
Hello, everybody.
of Spider-Bite Studios.
Yep.
That's at spiderbitestudios.net or something.
That is correct.
All right.
And at,
Or something.
I'm at the Carltron on the Twitters.
on the Twitters.
On the Twitters.
On the Twitters.
I also apparently don't internet well. I don't
No.
foosball and I don't internet.
You're a Twitter file.
You're old enough that you're just like this senile uncle that's like, meh.
That newfangled computer shit.
How do you type with more than one finger at a time?
What's that twatter you keep
I own a
speaking about?
sidekick. That is my answer to your question.
Nephew, come here. Do you run the Google?
Do you run the Googles?
Tell me.
I've only Googled twice in my life, and that was once with your grandmother.
We've
The other
been drinking
one-
a lot of Ripple.
The other one was in the war. I don't like to talk about that one.
It burned.
Speaking of burning, next one up.
Hey-oh! Transition.
What the fuck did I do?
No, I was just
Terrible.
I was just talking about your scalp during the summer. Yeah.
Or right now, dude. You're really red.
Yeah,
bro.
you're a little red.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks like Hobbit and him are neck and neck when it comes to the Widow's Peaks.
We'll take photos every day. To figure out
Yeah,
what's happening.
exactly. We'll do like the 365 video thing, but just of our receding hairlines. Just going back.
Nothing but their faces getting sadder and sadder.
Well, I can't be on that episode. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Black don't crack.
I mean, it's happened to me way back. I'm good. I like seeing it happen to others who gave me
Keep waiting.
shit
You
for
keep
years.
waiting, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I would have loved to have been there for that though.
Oh my god,
Hearing
it was
Hunter give you
relentless.
So much shit.
Relentless.
When him and his brother had full hair.
When
and
he
they would
actually
give me
believed
shit.
that at one point in his life, that's that little front part of his, that's the amount of hair, the only amount of hair he was going to lose. I'm pretty sure he was convinced of this.
We'll see.
We're gonna see over the year. We should take like pictures every year so we can do like a fucking
Like a Bruce
flip
Willis
book.
thing.
Yeah.
So.
You're not gonna give it that
Right-
patch,
right now-
Let's
right
just
now-
get some plugs and reboot your hair.
Right now, I'm Die Hard 2, all right?
Yeah, right.
I'm Die Hard 2, just waiting.
You'll,
so.
you'll be live free, die hard soon. Don't
I
worry.
think he needs like
That's how you rate the receding hairline.
he needs like a reimagining of his hair, kind of like at the tail end of the first Joe Dirt movie, where he ends up with like dreadlocks or something.
There you
and-
go.
Yeah, I think.
We'll just sew it to his scalp.
But you're not gonna give that up, are you? You're just gonna keep that little patch as long as you can.
Eventually, it's
It'll-
just gonna
it
get
could
all
go
shaved.
bald. It could be completely bald, and you just have this little patch like Charlie Brown style.
Kind of Kevin Smith in it right
We
now.
call that
where-
the upside down soul patch.
That's right.
You should do the Gary Oldman from True Romance look. Just
Oh, yeah.
Like the Drexel?
and the gold tooth.
I would
yeah.
prefer the Gary Oldman from Fifth Element.
Just shave most of it off and just have a little hair
I will
on
just
the
glue a
side.
piece of Tupperware to the side of your head, and you can just let the hair grow everywhere else.
I think this is a good idea. I think we need to do that live
We need to
streaming
get
on,
some
on
black
another
goo.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Hunter.
Yeah, fuck you, Hunter, is the one we're talking about.
There you go.
Our final panelist. We got a fiver tonight talking about all reboots and rebirths. First up to talk about is really the ones that really just shat the bed. Reboots and rebirths that we've seen that just really upset us. Did either ruined our childhood as the common parlance on the internet, or just something that really didn't need to be messed with in the first place. So, anybody got one to start?
Oh, I was going to say, and we actually talked a little bit about this on the 80s, 90s, but bringing up Tim Burton, but the shit fest that is fucking Planet of the Apes.
Oh,
And this was our first real
Man.
understanding that Tim Burton was going to start fucking shit up down the road, was that Planet of the Apes, because everybody was like, oh, Planet of the Apes reboot, Tim Burton, what could go wrong? And then
Everything.
literally everything that could go wrong.
Mark
went-
Wahlberg won.
It's
Say,
such
pretty
a
much if you add Mark Wahlberg to anything.
It's a fucking dumpster fire, man.
I think we got us a Transformer. What are you talking about? That was fucking
I
artistic.
swear to God, I just saw when I watched Rogue One again today, and the trailer for was it the last night? He
he's in there,
says
too.
something in the trailer where he's like, "Come on, we gotta go," and it totally sounds like it's not even from that movie. It just sounds like something from
Just
the other
clip- they
guys.
just clipped, like-
Yeah, it's like they just sampled the audio, and I actually audibly laughed in the theater while the trailer was going on. I was just like, "Is that
Oh,
really
God.
supposed to be
So
part
what,
of that?"
You can use me in the film, but I'm not going to be there to
Yeah.
film anything. Just
Yeah.
take shit
Just-
from the
just
last movie.
Take some stuff from the cutting room floor
Yeah.
with all the other movies
They
I've
just
done and give
hit
me
up all the
a couple mil.
paparazzos with the video of him doing like taking out the garbage, and they
Yeah.
just put it in
They'll
there.
take
like,
anything
oh.
at this point. Cuts from Fear, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know anymore.
Well, I was just gonna say it'd be nice if we could just blame it all on Wahlberg about that movie being shit, but just overall, it's all kinds of fucked up.
Well, and it's not the first time that there's been like an attempt to get that made. Like they've been trying to do Planet of the Apes for a while before even that one, or I think maybe 20 years before then.
I don't know. I thought that was all part of the original
The
kind
whole
of cluster.
well,
The
it's-
rubber masks
it's-
and the non-moving mouths.
It's one of those weird things where it gets in development and then it disappears and it comes back. So it might have been.
Now, let's just be clear. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate a lot tonight just because it's fun. But let's be clear. They did at least get Charlton Heston to come in as a monkey. That was amazing. That was the highlight of that whole movie.
Yeah, that is true.
He didn't say damn dirty humans in there, did he?
I think he might
Yeah,
have
he
been.
did.
feel like he did.
Yeah.
No, the big guy did. Yeah, he
Michael
said, "Get your
Clark
hand off
Duncan?
me, you
Michael
damn
Duncan,
dirty
yeah.
human." Yeah, that was their
Gross.
homage to
He
that.
didn't say
Gross.
Heston
it
didn't say it.
though. So
Yeah, well, I live in Virginia now. It's
Sorry.
all
So
tainted.
why? But you don't hear me talking like
It's
that.
all tainted.
At least with that franchise, they actually were able to repair it in the last 10 years.
That is true.
Yeah, true.
But tying on to both of those, actually, not my pick for what shot to bed, but I just want to bring up the fucking Transformers reboot. Shit all over that.
See, I don't consider it a reboot.
It was.
They never had a live action.
They never had a
but just
live action
cartoon.
one before, so I don't. That I would consider that maybe.
But
a,
up to
Yeah,
that point, it
that's-
had been dormant. Now they have a reboot live action.
That's more of like a
animated.
reimagining.
Reboot
Reimagining.
animated movie that's awesome on Netflix. Have you watched that? That
No, I
shit's
have not.
badass.
But that's what I'm saying. That
That was a rebirth of the Transformers, and it fucking sucked.
yeah,
It was a miscarriage.
My bad.
we call it getting Bruckheimer.
No, it was like it was like the leftovers that ran down her leg. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, that's how bad it
Bruckheimer.
was.
Yeah,
right,
right there.
right in the a-hole, eh?
Bad shit. All right. Yeah.
Okay, I have one. The day the Earth stood still, which was
God.
one of my favorite. It's still one of my favorite movies. I have every edition. I like VHS, DVD, Blu-ray.
the original's great.
The original's amazing,
Absolutely.
and the message across in that movie, and in the original, was very powerful but very subtle. And this Keanu Reeves reboot,
There's no such thing as
yeah.
subtle.
It was
whoa, I can
already
show
redone
you.
in the 80s slightly differently. The
Well-
whole aliens come down and tell you stop fucking up your Earth or
The
we'll
Abyss?
kill you.
Right,
The
yeah.
Abyss.
Yeah, The
It's
Abyss.
the
Which
exact same fucking storyline.
That's
they
true.
fucked that up by changing the ending, but yeah.
Yeah,
But it's still a great fucking movie.
Yeah,
No,
I mean
it's
it's still good,
amazing.
but the original ending for that was
Director's
more
cut's
like
better.
the director's cut's way more like Day the Earth Stood Still, because they literally have a 400-foot wall of water standing offshore, threatening to wipe out humanity.
yeah.
Just
Until
on
Ed Harris,
pause.
until
that's-
Ed Harris kind of fixes shit.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've never read anything on that, but I'm sure that's probably a huge inspiration for that film. I never really
No
thought
doubt.
about it, but that makes perfect sense.
Oh, absolutely.
But when you try to, the problem with reboots just in general is if you don't have the right people behind it, they're looking at it as, hey, they already know this. It's easy money.
Yeah, and that's
when you-
exactly why they do it. There are too many movies that are done because you have an instant audience
Mm-hmm.
of people that don't critique things, that it's just junk food for their brain.
Right.
And I think there should be three things that they have to ask whenever they're going to try and do a reboot or a rebirth. And that is, does it need it? Do people want it? And are we going to completely fuck everybody if we do this?
Also, maybe if you
like
just
with
go
Ghost-
Ghostbusters,
Yeah.
but let's just make them all girls.
but
Jesus.
the thing with
That wasn't the worst part about that, though.
No, the
there's
the
tons
part
of
is that they
problems.
did not give a shit about the plot. They only wanted to make a girl version of Ghostbusters. If the plot was good,
here's
I don't give a shit.
It also
it just
it was also played like a fucking Scooby Doo episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally,
the
right?
problem
Yeah,
with
it
some of here's my other big problem with reboots and stuff. Sometimes when those movies come out, they come out at exactly the right time
Yes.
for those
Yes.
movies to be as good and as loved as they are. When you bringing a new Ghostbusters now, or even like Indiana Jones, I think that's one of the reasons Crystal Skull failed so bad. If you
That
watch
storyline
that,
was horrible.
well, it was horrible. But if you watch that and it wasn't in Indiana Jones, if it was just a story about a guy going into the woods and it didn't have anything to do with Indiana Jones and he was trying to find the alien things, that probably would have been like a summer sleeper movie where people would watch it. But when you're holding it to the standard of Indiana Jones and trying to bring a franchise that was killer up into the 90s into the 2000s without any real good way of doing it, you screw
And
the pooch there.
CGI,
Like-
And
non-practical.
way too much.
I would tell you that if that was a continuation of the Alan Quartermain movies, and you just changed the name and he was Alan Quartermain, and that was the storyline, I'd be like, that's as campy and shitty as the original. So yeah, cool, I'm on board. That's
Exactly.
fine. But it's Indiana fucking Jones.
Exactly.
It's
and the
different.
fact that Spielberg had anything to do with it pisses me off more than any of that.
Well, Lucas had something to do with it.
Well, they both
That's-
did. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But the fact that they both had you guys are the originators of this shit. Who thought this was a good idea?
Well, it's funny because just with Lucas, and he came to the prequels, when you have technology available and you didn't before, you're going to utilize it as much as you can.
And you shouldn't.
And you shouldn't. At least they
Every-
know that now.
They
before.
don't.
Well, to some
Well,
extent, they know to mix a story
those
and characters.
people don't.
Yeah, but maybe they don't. But
Yeah.
what he did with that was it was another case of we have all these tools at our disposal. We have cash, and this looks great
And we're
because
slapping a name on it that
exactly
people love.
imagination wise, it looks fucking awesome. But when you put it all together, it's just shit, and it takes
Shia
away
LaBeoufed
from
it.
something original that came out like Star Wars. J.J. Abrams, practical.
Star Trek.
He went Star Trek too. I mean, that was an amazing reboot because they literally reboot the entire history of the show,
And they don't.
Or
The
TV.
best part of that is they don't fuck up the original timeline.
They never
They-
because they erase
And they
it.
even
Until
comment.
the second one.
They comment on the fact that it's kind of cheating in the movie.
Yeah.
Like they even like in the storyline joke about like, well, messing with the timeline, isn't that cheating? It's like, well, yeah, but whatever.
Yep.
Like,
Now-
it's fucking
And
great.
that's
Awesome.
what's ironic
Fucking
about
great.
that is that's the whole reason that the sequel sucks so much balls because you had every storyline you could possibly
No,
choose
Into
from.
Darkness was awesome. I loved it.
Compared to Wrath of Khan,
I'm not comparing two different timelines, dude.
Yeah, but it's the same
comparing.
character.
Wait, Star Trek 2, Wrath of Lens Flares? Is that?
Flares.
I'm just saying you take Into Darkness and compare it to Wrath of
I
Khan,
don't.
and it follows the same
I didn't
beats.
take the I didn't
follows
take
the
Star
same
Trek
beats.
following and compared.
Well,
I mean, even the reversal of them dying in the warp core and all that
Yeah.
shit. That's the thing. Like they had, there's so many storylines from the show they could have gone with any of that stuff, but instead they chose to redo Wrath of Khan,
The best Trek movie.
which was fucking stupid. And they did a good job with the story. They could have done that entire story similarly, and just not had it be about
I don't know.
Khan.
I was still confused on why they're putting dead people in torpedoes and shit. Like, it just didn't make any goddamn sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, well, you hide them in missiles? Like, why is that a thing that you're doing? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I guess they didn't have any, like boxes to put them in.
Yeah, like,
They just don't have any boxes.
I-
Or-
I-
Futuristic boxes.
I forgot this is the future. We don't have cardboard
there any
anymore.
boxes?
It's always
Ever?
about the
It's
the
a
missiles.
polymer.
Has anybody seen Beyond yet?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Well,
Really?
I think
You
we
mean-
saw it together, right?
No, we didn't.
The Trek and the Furious?
I've seen it like 4 times.
2 Trek.
Actually, it's way better than you'd think it would be.
Really?
Yeah.
compared to like the other.
Well, I mean, it's on par with the first one. It's on
Okay.
par with the J.J. Abrams reboot.
Nice.
Is there
Lynn-
a part where, like,
Lynn
Vin
did a
Diesel's
good
a captain
job,
and he's
no.
like, I never thought I'd do this
Lynn
again?
did a good
And-
job with being a sci-fi movie. It's not, it's an action movie, but it's not like you don't see Fast and Furious in it like you thought you would. Now the edit of the trailer, yes, that's like, oh shit, that looks like too fast, too Star Trek-iest.
Speaking of furious, Jodie is going to be furious that we're talking more about Trek than we have since the Trek episode on an episode that she's not here for.
Vin Diesel comes out as a Klingon.
The Rock too.
No, I'd actually like to see a reboot of, since they already did the original Star Trek, to do Next Generation. I would
Reboot
love
of
to.
Next
See,
Generation.
Who would be Picard, though?
Here's the thing.
that's I don't know, but you
Which-
could find
I
You
think
should get
somebody.
that guy that
Bald
plays
actor.
Charles Xavier.
Oh, well, he's a,
Off.
I'm gonna get James McAvoy to do Picard.
James
Might as well.
McAvoy.
Yes. No, let's
Yeah.
totally do
Yeah,
that.
James. Who did you think?
He thought I meant Patrick Stewart
Yeah,
again.
Yeah, right. He's like, dude, what?
No, you could totally have McAvoy come in and probably knock it out of the park.
Or they could do it like
Frakes would be
Ghostbuster
replaced
style,
by-
and I don't mean the all-girl versions, but just like make it way more campy than it was supposed to be, and get like Seth Rogen to play Riker.
I was going to say the guy that played Magneto.
Oh, Captain, I
in
don't
the-
know where
Well,
I'm
just
just
take
really
the
stoned
entire
right now.
X-Men, the new franchise of X-Men, and just transplant him into Star Trek Next Generation.
You talking about Michael
Riker
Fassbender?
was, Riker was like
As Riker?
his good old boy, like,
I mean,
I'm saying,
you're my partner.
it's not
in
hard.
this, but
It wouldn't be difficult.
I mean, okay.
Get the blonde chick to play Deanna Troy. I mean,
You need somebody with way more Jersey hair than that to play Deanna Troy.
she's got hair.
You gotta have
I
the
never really paid
bangs
attention
just
to
right.
Anything above the neck.
Above the camel toe.
What blonde chick are you talking about?
Lawrence, Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, Jay.
J-Law. J-Law.
Shut up.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but no, if you're gonna that's where I was. That kind of brings it full circle though. When you're making those things, I think I've actually had that conversation on one of the previous podcasts. There should be like an unwritten law, or a written law for that matter, where you can't reboot shit if it failed miserably. You should have to wait 10 years. Just that's your penance. You wait 10 years before you reboot Spider-Man for the 5th fucking time.
Daredevil.
I am so
Daredevil.
They waited.
I don't want to hear anything
Here's
about
the thing.
about that.
I
Fuck you,
am
dude.
not like I'm hopeful, but I was worried about once they did the third Tobey Maguire one, I was like, fuck this franchise.
Both
But
sucked
then,
with what's-his
when
face,
they
though.
did what they did with the reboot for Amazing was not terrible.
It's-
it didn't follow the comic books the same way, but it was still.
Here's the thing: the way that they had Spider-Man swinging off his ropes and shit, it was a pretty decent Spider-Man. When he was wearing the outfit, him like cracking jokes and talking shit was fine. But they made Peter fucking Parker
Awful.
a skateboard indie rock kid that
Emo.
kind of likes gadgets, and like that was his whole deal.
Yeah.
You're talking in the Amazing.
Amazing
Yeah.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Horrible.
Now, I didn't absolutely hate the first Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It was okay.
It was okay.
Lizard-
the second
the
one was
second one-
terrible.
Lizard's
I'm
good.
Electro.
Yeah.
And at the very end, I'm the Rhino.
Yeah.
Like, fuck
Yeah,
yourself.
I never even watched that one.
Oh, it's bad.
I hated Amazing.
You know
so
what that?
much.
You know what that
Man.
was? Like Paul Giamatti. Like, we will pay you $2 million. Come in for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
maybe
Well, he was
10.
in the beginning too.
Yeah, well, let us get your face, and the rest of the body.
He was
it's
trying
only
to,
his
he's trying to
fucking
get that
face.
money
Yeah.
together for Sideways too.
Yeah, he probably.
Electric
Nah.
Boogaloo.
Yeah, right.
I learned my lesson.
Sideways
I learned my
more.
lesson
Yeah.
from Fantastic Four when I saw Fantastic Four 2 with Silver Surfer. When this Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, I was like, nope, I fucking hated the first one.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the same thing I did with
It's like Ghost
Fantastic
Rider
Four.
2. Same thing with Ghost
Exactly. I'm not going through that shit again.
Wait.
Rider. They both sucked. They both sucked.
Wait.
Both sucked. There's no argument there.
That's Nick Cage's fault. But Neville Dine and Taylor did a really good
Oh,
job
no. I'm very pro
with
the
the
guys
way
from
they
Crank.
did that. Because they did it Crank style, which amped the movie up 10 times.
Are you talking about the second one?
The second
Yeah.
one, over top of what Nick Cage's already did.
Wait, what's he like? this is
He's
why
like
we're on video
Kramer.
for
He's
this.
a little like Kramer, but yeah.
I know. Now I just need to see a reboot of Seinfeld where Nick Cage is Kramer. Like I would watch that shit so hard. Are you kidding
And
me?
you know, he didn't truly go into that until like Con Air, and then for some reason after that, he was just eccentric.
We were talking about this on the Wicker Man one. You can forget about Vampire's Kiss. He was crazy, batshit crazy
I'm a
from the 80s.
vampire. I'm a vampire.
Yeah.
No, Face Off is actually when he went fucking insane. I still think it's
Watch
Face Off.
Vampire's
Face Off
Kiss?
by John
Probably.
Travolta?
No, it's Nick Cage.
It's like looking in
That'll
a
fuck
mirror.
anybody up.
It's like looking in a mirror.
Nick
only
Cage
not.
trying to act like John Travolta and John Travolta trying to
Right.
act like Nick Cage.
That's why I love that
Holy
movie.
fuck.
We need a reboot of that. Maybe they could come in as cameos.
Face off, and they just reverse the role. And
Off
then they reverse
face.
them again. Yeah.
Terrible.
Reface off.
Yeah.
Resurfacing. I don't know what that means.
What
Resurface.
other remakes can we
Well,
shit on?
no, I got one that I'm fucking violently angry about because even though they kind of fucked up the sequel in the 90s by not having two of my most beloved characters in it, it's still not as bad as actually having them in it in this sequel and it being fucking tire fire. I'm talking Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
In Secret of the Ooze, they had Toka and fucking Razor for no reason because why couldn't you have Bebop and Rocksteady? It made no goddamn sense to me. They had the animatronic abilities. They had the Ninja Turtles doing
They
I
that
love
shit.
how we're
Guy in a suit.
I love how we're attempting to talk about this as if we were adults. They had Razor and they had
First,
all right, man, whatever gets you.
they had Vanilla Ice. I don't know what else you want.
He was ninja rapping.
Ninja
He
rap.
was-
Go
he was
Turtles, go.
He was
Yeah.
cheerleading them. Go Ninja, go Ninja,
Which one's
go.
the
You
other-
do know that when the 90s tour came through, that's how Vanilla Ice ended his set at the Coliseum.
Damn right.
How did you know
I was
that?
because my wife
Yeah, he
went to
does.
it and told me.
Now the question is,
I worked.
Was the Ninja Turtles Out of Their Shell tour ever on the same bill as Vanilla Ice? That's something that we need to
I
have
did
our
not
listeners.
know that was a thing. You
Oh,
uber nerd.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's on fucking Spotify.
Oh my God.
The Ninja Turtles Out of
you
Their
should.
Shells
I
come
used-
out.
I used to own that.
Was this
I
like
used to
a
own that.
state
Yeah.
fair sort of
I
thing?
think
or?
I think Pizza Hut put out a cassette tape or something, and
It was Pizza Hut.
It's Pizza
yes,
Hut?
it was
Yeah.
That's how I got it. Was through Pizza Hut.
yeah.
Yeah.
that's
But
fucking.
oh, and it's amazingly bad. It's really it's
And
like
then when
really
they went on tour, they wore the suits and came out. Oh, so
yeah, and
horrible.
pretended to play, and it was like
so bad.
really
I'm
shitty,
gonna have to
like
go on YouTube.
poppy hair metal. It was
It's
fucking
really bad.
terrible.
But that's a perfect example of like Michael Bay. We have money, and we really don't need much of a story or context
But
because these are fucking
Here's the
turtles who are
thing.
ninjas.
Here's the thing.
That's what the
It's-
way they see it.
It's like fucking Caravan of Courage with the Ewok movies and shit. I feel like is more canon to the original trilogy than the prequels. That's how I feel about the Coming Out of Their Shells tour with the Ninja Turtles and Michael Bay's bullshit. I would much rather go see some shitty fucking fake guitar playing Ninja Turtle bullshit than watch fucking Ninja Turtles 2 with Bebop and Rocksteady. It just fucking pisses me off.
I just say one. They learn the fucking rat learns martial arts from a book he found in the sewer.
Yeah, it was
like
fucking
somehow
Kung Fu for
they,
dummies.
not adults can barely decipher a book of kung fu and actually do it well.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they? Wasn't the big like I seem to remember when the
so-
reboot was originally coming out, when the Ninja Turtles thing was coming out, the biggest hang up for everybody was that they weren't mutated turtles. They were like somebody had said at one point
Aliens.
they were like aliens.
Yeah.
Like they had
That was the initial, like when it was first.
They kind of
when
did
it was being
they did it
greenlit.
in between where the
Pre-production.
ooze that they got, I think, was alien, and that's what turned them into mutants. So they were still
Okay.
mutants, but it was like
I
an
just
alien
remember that was a
mutagen.
big like I'm not gonna go see that shit because it was like, well, it is a Michael Bay film.
Yeah,
so.
no shit.
He's
Yeah.
like, I got this really great idea for this thing that was a really great idea.
I like how it's like a bidding war on like my childhood, which is hopefully Disney picks up the shit that I liked as a kid, but sometimes Michael Bay's gonna pick it up. So Disney
It's rolling
fucking
the
rocks.
They're
and
just
then
sitting in the back lot of
yeah.
Universal,
All
like
right, you
rolling
get-
dice. All right, you win it.
you
Fuck.
get Transformers, we get
It's
Marvel.
just like Disney execs and guys that work for Michael Bay doing like jets and sharks in a fucking parking
And
lot
then there's
somewhere.
that one guy in the back who's like, "Fuck threes! I got to do the Battleship movie."
Or now coming out Tetris.
How?
Three
Why?
movies.
3 fucking Tetris movies.
Tetris is in three
Three.
movies. I don't even understand how that's possible.
Oh no, I get 2 because Tetris 2 had bombs in it.
Wait,
so
I-
like, and that's what the one you get Michael Bay to direct.
So is the third one going to be Sextris, where it's just the bodies fitting it?
If Battleship didn't work, and it didn't work. I mean, I think it
was
bombed.
terrible.
It
The
was
Did it
one,
bomb?
the one tie-in was that there was buoys or something.
no. There when the aliens shot the bombs
Oh,
onto the
they-
decks,
yeah.
they looked like the fucking
Pegs.
pegs, and they
Yeah.
stuck into the thing, and then
somebody
they blew up.
in Hollywood went, "Yep, check, approve, make this
This
movie."
is fantastic.
Ingenious.
Yeah,
I can't wait for
Hasbro
Hungry
was
Hungry
actually
Hippos
doing
to come
a
out with John
shit ton
Goodman.
of those
When that
things,
comes
too.
out,
Yeah.
oh,
They're
man.
actually, and I shit you not, I read an article on this. Hasbro is trying
That's
to make
true.
an
Character actor.
HCU. They're trying to make a Hasbro cinematic universe.
I heard that
where
with like masks
pixels
and
all of that shit will tie into the same universe. I kid you not.
like the Adam
No.
Sandler movie.
Yes.
Oh fuck that.
No.
Because it's a lot of those were Hasbro things.
Now
and
the one thing it
Or maybe it
could
wasn't
work
pixels, it
if
was
you choose
something.
the right
Yeah.
properties to like GI Joe and also like Mask and like other shit
God.
that Hasbro put out. I could see working in the same universe.
not the Eric Stoltz mask, right? You're talking.
No, actually, I was talking about the share.
G.I. Joe just hunts Mickey or Mikey or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
his name was down and blows.
I
him
am
up.
talking about the share vehicle. Yes, yes. Where like GI Joe knows
He's
how to
the
fight,
supervillain.
but Mask knows how to love, and like they join forces.
The only good thing about one of the good things about that movie was
God damn it.
Sam
I
Elliott.
feel sick.
That was pretty much one of the good things about that Eric
What's
Stoltz
that?
movie was Sam Elliott.
Oh yeah,
That was about
yeah.
it.
He was like the biker boyfriend or something, right? Or
Wow,
something like
You
that.
don't know if he's his dad, but he maybe
He might be
is.
his dad.
This
Yeah.
has turned from the
I've been
reboot episode to
I've
the
been
Let's
fucking
Jerk
your
Off
mom
Eric Stoltz episode.
I've been fucking your mom for a really long time.
Name of the episode: Let's jerk off Eric Stoltz.
Some other shitty remakes. Fucking Rob Zombie and his.
Oh, here we
Halloween.
go.
Oh.
Here we go.
Yeah, man.
I thought you liked the first one. his first one.
I never said that.
I will say this.
I feel like you said that
No,
on some level.
No, all I've said is that the second half of the movie is a tolerable, basically same movie because the second half is like the same fucking thing.
You mean when he's not a kid?
When he's not a kid,
Yeah.
when he's an adult, it's like the same thing. The Dr. Loomis, Malcolm McDowell did go a little overboard at the end with the Michael screaming over and over again for like 30 fucking minutes. Michael, no!
Wait,
30 minutes.
what were they like?
Michael, no!
There it is.
Yeah.
All right, I got a question for you. If you had to watch one or the other, that or Nightmare on Elm Street remake?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Rob
much.
Zombies, Halloween.
There you go.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I was gonna say that.
Can I
it's
just-
between the two? There's a gun to
And
my
that was
head.
the one that I brought up.
Can I just use the gun?
Yeah,
Or,
right.
like, do I have to
But
make a
Not
choice?
not just his abortion of the first, like this fuck up of the first. I won't call it an abortion. The goddamn second one though.
Okay.
That motherfucker.
I will give you that.
I didn't
now here's
bother.
the thing.
Argue
Halloween.
the first one. Argue the first one.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Since
I will
you're
give
gonna
you.
the second one. So
I'll give you that the second one sucked big donkey balls.
Yeah. So how was
Be-
the first one good?
Here's the thing. The reason the first one was good was it was a gritty. I want to say reinterpretation as to not upset you. But I saw the original, and you're a huge Halloween file, obviously, so you're going to have a much stronger opinion of it than some other people. I barely remembered the first movie. I know.
That is kind of a
That's why I sat on
weird
this side of the
statement
table.
for us.
So I sat on this side of the table.
Rub
I
the
barely
back.
remember it because when I saw it, I was much younger and I wasn't really into horror films at the time. So it was like, oh, that's cool. That guy's wearing a weird mask. Okay, and then I moved on.
William Shatner.
Yes.
Come on, man.
I know.
That's what I said about
what
the
it
Eric
is.
Stoltz movie.
But when I saw, when I saw the Rob Zombie, I went into the Halloween remake with fairly low expectations because let's be honest, House of a Thousand Corpses was not, amazing cinema. Now, Devil's Rejects, however, was much more solid. So I'm thinking, okay, he learned from the first one.
That was it. That
he
was
went
his
to the
peak.
second one.
That was his peak.
Hold
That
on now.
definitely
hold on.
was.
And then Halloween was in the same vein with its grittiness and its lighting and its overall tone. But because I didn't remember the first Halloween, I went into it with fresh eyes. So I saw it for what it was. Now, if I go back and I watch the original Halloween, because the last Halloween I saw was H2O. And exactly. So I had no frame of reference for that. So
Josh Hartnett.
that's one of the other reasons why this reboot episode that we're doing is funny to me, because there's some people that have never seen the originals. And I've actually heard people they made a joke in the Avengers movie. You guys seen that really old movie called Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back.
Or whatever he says.
Civil War. Get it right.
And it was also a
it
Captain
was-
America movie, not an Avengers movie.
Jesus H. Christ, you nerds.
This is a nerd podcast.
Yeah.
Like, you can't make those mistakes
Hey,
with
you know how
us.
you're the grammar police? We're the nerd police.
I got you.
Yeah. Now
Excuse
you
me,
can
sir.
Fucking medicine.
Excuse me, sir. That's Civil War.
I'm gonna throw a random one. Clash of the Titans.
Oh,
And I know.
God.
Is it-
again,
is it-
movies that don't
Or
need
the
to
Wrath of the
be
Titans.
remade.
They made a
Roots?
sequel.
They needed to film Liam
saw
Neeson
that
saying,
too.
Yeah.
release the Kraken, and then be done with it.
I mean,
like
that
the-
could have been a short film.
Yeah.
I like the title of that, the movie that
And then
killed.
just open his pants and his giant dong.
Yeah,
fall
right.
out.
I like the title of that movie that killed 3D, because literally right before that movie was when you had
Like Avatar.
Avatar,
Yeah.
highest gross movie of all time. And Warner Brothers got greedy. They fucking released Clash of Titans, made it 3D at the last minute. People went in there. The movie already sucked, and it had shitty 3D. And after that, people were like, "Ah, fuck 3D."
And then they did a fucking sequel.
Fucking
Which is
sequel
funny
was
because the
god-awful.
sequel was
It had,
storyline-wise, they didn't have anything to base it on,
But
so
you
they
did-
could actually do something
I feel like
creative, and they
that
still fucked
somebody
it up.
accidentally signed a contract that was for 2
Was it
movies.
Ian
And like,
Mc-
oh fuck.
Ian McKellen and Liam Neeson standing next to each other with like super long hair and robes and like shooting stuff
Yes.
out of their hands.
That's what I was
while
gonna
they're
say.
fucking
They're just like walking like in a straight line, like. Pew, pew, pew,
They were
pew.
like, I just kept waiting to hear I'm too old for this shit.
No, I just want I want to hear where like their mics weren't cut off or something, and they're just like Liam Neeson and
Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen, both phenomenal actors,
Yeah.
and have been doing this shit for a while, just being like, "You fucking fireballs and what? Why the fuck are we
No,
here?"
you know what they
Just,
should have.
like,
You know what it would have
fucking
been?
mad.
No, you know what it would have been was the money they made from it. That's $1,000. That's $1,000. That's $1,000.
That's so true.
Oh,
You know,
God.
it had to do something because that movie was. Even though the first one was bad, that one was just
Fucking
Well, here's
terrible.
the thing. I think what it is there's so many people that they're worried about. Well, it goes back to what you said. They're trying to make money. They just want to make money. They don't really give a shit about the intellectual property. It's what do we own? What can we get away with? And what hasn't been rebooted yet? More than once or twice or 3 times.
They're gonna run out in about 3 years.
Dude, they're doing a live action Garfield movie.
They're
Or no,
doing-
no. Tom and Jerry movie.
They're
Tom and
doing a
Jerry.
fucking Chips movie.
Yes, I did see that.
Chips.
It does
Yes.
have the guy from what's his name
Why
from
does
Ant-Man.
Chips deserve a movie?
No, that's the thing. I loved the fucking TV show, but Airwolf
Well, that
was
explains
popular
a
when
lot.
Chips was popular. Like
Well, you're
it
also
wasn't a
from
high
California,
bar.
so.
Dax Shepard, and then the
Yeah.
who's the other guy?
Oh, he's really good.
Michael Pena.
Michael Pena. that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
But you have two funny guys.
Yeah,
It
but
could be
Chips
funny.
was like fucking. Yeah, you're looking at like Airwolf and
I can't wait for the Matlock reboot.
fucking. And I
The
tell you,
movie.
Are we gonna get
the
Perry Mason
three
next?
movie
You know why?
Matlock
and like
reboot.
the A Team was popular, and I loved the A Team, but
Which they
it's
rebooted.
goofy as fuck.
And it was terrible too.
But Chips,
also Liam Neeson, let's just be clear.
And
Chips,
Bradley Cooper was in that though.
That is true.
oh
it just
God,
it
that
does
doesn't
not
make
need
it
to
better.
be even not even another TV show. Just like leave it be. It's an '80s thing.
Yeah, the reason they're making it is because of fucking 21 Jump Street. That movie
course.
made
That movie's
a
awesome though. It's
right.
hilarious.
Well, because of
That's
that
you
movie
roll the
doing
goddamn
well,
dice.
be
And
do-
the second one was good too.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
second one.
The,
Was
Because
and the,
both
the
of them
best
did
part
well.
about the second
There
was
you go.
that they made fun
That's
of the
why-
fact that it was the second one.
Yeah, exactly.
They
right?
said 23rd Jump Street, and of course at the end of the movie they do the all the
All
sequels.
of them.
The sequels, yeah.
That's where they go, oh, this movie did well. Let's
Which
just-
apparently that is all canon. They said in an interview that all the different versions of 22 Jump
Could
Street
happen.
afterwards, that's what they're going to go with after that if they end
the
up
first
making
four
another
of
movie.
them were like, oh, that'd be kind of funny.
Yeah,
and then it was like
They got
culinary school, beauty school.
Because they realize there's no way they're going to make more
Yeah.
than that. That's like
They'll be lucky
maybe
if
one
they
more.
I
make
love
it
the Seth
24.
Rogen contractual.
Yeah. What are you talking about? I've always looked like this.
Yeah.
Speaking of, another shitty remake, we went and saw this fucking Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Didn't bother.
Horrible.
Again, I'm gonna be.
You take gold and you just.
Can turn it into lead, can't you? We just reverse
Straight
this
to the
shit.
bottom.
Yeah.
You know what
We
they
just
should,
reverse alchemy all your shit.
what they should never do, at least in a film format. And obviously, they did it on TV, and I'm not a fan of it. Exorcist. If anybody comes out and wants to remake The Exorcist
show.
as a film, I don't.
They did.
No, fuck the. Well,
Kind of.
The beginning.
What?
Like,
Yeah,
which one?
like they try. Well,
just
yeah,
like
the
it.
beginning and
The
then.
beginning,
Yeah.
and then they did something else.
It was
I'm
two
talking
versions
like-
of the same movie because there was an
Yeah.
argument with the director, and it
Now
was
here's
this
the
crazy
thing.
fucked up thing.
This is where again, and I keep coming back to this because this is where I was actually going with that, but I keep getting derailed because of alcohol. And
Here?
and
Because
nerd
no.
corrections. No, there's
You
movies.
fuck up and be correct.
Yeah, well, shut up, man. There's movies that should and should not be rebooted. If the technology did not exist in the time when the movie was originally made, to where when you watch it now, it's like, oh god, they could have done that so much better. If you can't say that about the original movie, don't
Leave it
fucking
the
do
fuck
it.
alone.
Exorcist, Terminator, any of that shit that was originally done so well that it does not need to be fucked with, don't fuck with it.
There's also something to be
Agreed.
said that there are movies that falls under that guideline that you said, that the technology is way better, but the reason why it worked back then is because it was so shitty. Like that the puppetry was bad, or like the animatronics were bad.
Are you going Evil Dead with that? Or
I'm going like Buckaroo Banzai.
well, you can't go.
You could
Evil
make
Dead
a
with that.
much more
Well,
realistic
that's what I'm saying.
Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai across the 8th dimension now.
Yeah.
But unless you had the right people doing it and knew how to give it that same kind of tone, that movie's not going to work as a serious film at fucking all.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be ridiculous as shit with bad special effects. That's the way it works. So,
True.
Well, I was gonna say one example of we've got all these special effects, high tech stuff. Let's make a remake. Is the shitfest Godzilla back in '98, where they went, we can make all
The
this
Broderick
shit.
one?
Oh,
They made him a T-Rex.
We had
yeah,
little.
it's
and the
fucking
Wallflowers are
awful.
like, I want to be on the
Oh,
soundtrack.
a salamander
we could
who
be
made baby
heroes.
salamanders. I'm not
But
really
if
sure.
they were all excited, like, look, we can computer generate a Godzilla now. No more guy in a suit. And you're like, can we go back to the guy in the suit? Because this shit fucking
Can we have
sucks.
the Godzilla kind of in a dog shape?
Oh.
Can
And
we
then
do
you
that?
had Gareth Edwards who came and said, "I'm going to give it I love the movie."
Yeah, and
he
that's-
gave it
No,
life. Like
that-
again,
that
on an
reboot
American
was
from an
amazing.
American perspective.
But he Americaned
talking
it.
the one with
He supersized
Bryan
his
Cranston?
fries. Like he made that
See,
A
Godzilla.
lot bigger.
I don't know. I'm still indifferent to the Bryan Cranston one. Like,
I enjoyed it.
Well, that's
it
I
was
hate it.
okay. Like it was, but it's another one of those things where it's like part of the love people have for those movies is because of what they were and when they were created.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Like if you can't match certain, if you can't check off certain boxes, things shouldn't even be done. Like there's really no reason.
Two examples: Howard the Duck, and go ahead.
Shut the fuck
Steven.
up.
I cut you off.
You did cut me off. You cut
All
me
right.
off. You're just gonna talk.
Oh,
Oh.
spill your
that
beer,
fucking noise?
making the.
Fucking up.
I am fucking up.
Well,
Sorry.
don't start your point until he gets that shit fixed, because there we go. Okay.
Point.
All right, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm actually looking. I'm about 70% excited for the Kong. The Kong
Yes.
Island. Yeah, Skull Island. That looks.
Your Kong is at 70%.
Yes. The movie looks really good.
It's not the full
in
90,
trailers.
but it's
I don't
like,
know.
It's
You got
close.
Sam Jackson. You got John Goodman.
I'm
you got,
calmly
like-
excited about it, but
I'm cautiously optimistic because of what they did with the Jack Black one thing.
Oh, the
that
Peter
was Peter-
Jackson
yeah.
bullshit was
yeah,
horrible.
I mean,
I'm just excited that Dan Connor faked his death to get away from his wife and then went off to search for giant monsters. Like, that really makes me happy.
Although you can talk shit about that, but it had one of the best battle scenes, which was King Kong fighting two fucking T-Rexes.
I will say that is a good
And he
scene.
stomps on breaks his
You-
neck,
you-
stomps on him, and then pounds his chest. Was like, that's the greatest scene
You just
ever.
have to wait 2.5 hours to
I
get to
know.
that fucking
Yeah.
scene.
You had to
So
sit
as
through
long
Jack
as you make it
fucking
through
Black.
that,
And then
like
it's only
that
half
part.
over.
and then he goes ice skating. So
he had to sit through Kung Fu Panda without the suit. And then,
Now I actually want to see Jack Black dressed up as Kung Fu Panda in a live-action version of it because they're doing live actions of stuff. So why not?
Because he'll come to your house and ask for your kids to sit on his lap, and that's just not appropriate.
Oh,
You have any dumplings?
I'm here for your dumplings, and if you've got any weed, I'm totally.
You know who would make a good Shifu though? Jay Baruchel. We're going to the break. We'll be back. For everyone that's watching, we're going to be back at 9:30. So check your watches.
40
Come back.
minutes.
Yeah. We have to have a set time so people know when to come back.
Then we should talk for another 10.
All right, anyway.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so we're going to take a break. We'll be back at 9:30 for all you guys watching. Stick around.
Not the mama.
God damn.
God.
Why? LA, woo! This is like.
Hey guys, thank you for watching the GUI podcast. This is Nick from Instant Replay Live. I get plugged here a lot, and I'm being allowed to do it myself this time. I'm going to plug myself as much as I can. You can check out our Twitter at INST Replay Live. I'm going to plug myself again. I'm plugging myself in front of all these guys right here. You can find us on YouTube if you search for Instant Replay Live, or youtube.com/c/Instant Replay Live, or at InstantReplayLive.com. We do video games, we do tabletop role-playing games, and we do reviews and all kinds of other stuff. So check us out.
Totsky from the YMN podcast. Big fans of Geeks Under the Influence. Talk about all the same shit, so definitely check us out. YMNpodcast.com.
This is Mike the Hobbit, direct from Fallout on a trivia night, telling you to come here every first and third Monday for trivia between 8 and 10, 25-cent wings, drink specials, prizes, and tons of really inappropriate trivia. It's a lot of fun. Do you guys agree? Definitely come out and enjoy trivia every first and third Monday at Fallout. In addition to Fallout, Geeks Under the Influence takes over Wonderland on the corner of 18th and Main Street for Geeks Under the Influence trivia every second and fourth Tuesday. So come and check it out. Ridiculous trivia, goofy music, great food, cheap drinks on the corner of 18th and Main Street, 1727 East Main. Come and check us out 8 to 10 every second and fourth Tuesday.
Dale version of Deliverance.
No. We do like
Tucker
a weird
versus your asshole.
We do like a weird folk punk version where it's like the everyman in the woods being like, I
want to see Sam Raimi.
I just want it to be my ringtone now.
Sam Raimi should Evil Dead a reboot of
Oh God,
Deliverance.
Evil Deliverance.
He's already had the tree incident, so.
Actually, that was more enjoyable to watch than Ned Beatty naked. So.
Thanks for ruining my wine experience.
Like, Bumfuck wasn't really dark in comparison to that, okay, dude?
Who brought up the tree rape? Not me.
What a great scene.
That'll be the episode's name.
Tree
G1, who brought up the tree rape? Question mark.
I don't know. Michael Bay directs America's, I think, a pretty good front runner.
All right, so besides the shares that I guess in true NASCAR style, Kyle is just drinking straight out the bottle.
America.
I poured it in.
We're not
without putting my
pre-gaming.
lips on it.
We're not sitting in a parking lot looking at the cool motorcycles
Literally
from
behind
Orange
you
County
is a
choppers.
stack of cups. Like, you couldn't just grab that.
I couldn't fucking see behind me. It
Hey,
must be
it's
that
right
whole thing where
behind
my
you,
eyes are
motherfucker.
here,
Hey,
looking
grab me
this
a
way.
cup so I'm
Staring
not
at the
like
ginger.
uncivilized.
Uncivilized.
Grab a-
I'm so sorry.
Grab a cup, you bastard.
Grab a cup.
Actually, I think
I'll
this
fucking
this
grab
one's
them all.
clean.
How about
That
that?
one's a new one. He put a stack on the table. I just
You get a cup. You get a cup. We all get a cup.
so we
I
can
got
kick
two,
each other
I'm
in the
good.
balls.
All right, so continuing on with what we're drinking, the two shares are the Dale Earnhardt wine and Dark Hollow. So one of them's good, not Dale.
I haven't tried Dale yet.
I
Dale.
just assume that it's
There's
not.
a little bit of Dale in every
A
bottle.
lot of really-
A little bit
They
Dale up
just
in
scraped
here.
them up off the thing and put them in
ashes.
every little bottle.
I'm pretty sure they just took like strawberry wine from Boone's Farm and then put like cigarette butts in there and then swished it
It
around.
just ashed as
It
the
just
bottles
ashed
went
in it.
by on the conveyor
It's pretty
belt.
fucking terrible.
Yeah,
It smells pretty bad.
yeah, it's probably
It's
bad.
pretty on point. Yeah, this is definitely a $6 wine.
Yeah, fair enough.
$3. You got to keep it
$3.
consistent.
It should be a $3 wine.
Yeah,
$3.
but besides that, I'm just drinking on the High Life myself. Anybody else drinking on anything interesting?
I'm drinking again on the Anderson Valley Winter Solstice Seasonal Ale. We brought this up on
Because
three.
we just can't get enough.
I think this is the 4th episode we've talked
Something
about
like that,
this.
yeah.
Because it's fucking good and it's pretty much gone. And I looked upon this, so I'm like, one more time. One more round.
Yeah.
One more round.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's fucking delicious.
Mr. Smash, what are you drinking on?
I'm falling in line with Lowdown here. I got the Vienna Lager.
Devil's Backbone.
Devil's Backbone.
Nice.
Which we also did an episode there, as you
We
previously mentioned.
We did. That was a blast. They were, I got to say, we've mentioned it a bunch of times, but yeah, Blue Mountain and Devil's Backbone were super,
Which is great experience.
super great.
Just a
Yeah,
great
they were
experience.
wonderful to work
I had a
with.
blast. It was a great weekend, and
Yeah.
yeah.
What I remember.
So out of the close to 2 years we've been doing this, we've been able to do live episodes on location at 3 breweries. So
Knocked out in like 2 days.
yeah,
Like
well,
nothing.
two of the 3
Well,
were
Never asked back. No.
yeah, right. No, actually, I got an email later being like, "We had a great time working with you guys. Let us know if you want to come back." So
we
you weren't
definitely
there, fucker.
should.
yeah,
That hurts me.
I don't care. Really.
I'm sorry they
You have no soul. How does that hurt
they
you?
don't have vanilla rum at the brewery.
Yeah, no
so
shit.
Yeah, but they age it in rum barrels.
They do have a good sour though. Devil's Backbone had a really good sour.
Oh, that
That's
raspberry
right.
sour.
The ginger's
Dude,
tears are made of
that was
salt.
on point, dude.
Yeah.
Pure
That was
salt.
good.
No, mostly rum.
All right,
Just rum.
Grutzy, what are you drinking on?
I'm drinking on Jim Beam Double Oak. It's a twice barreled Jim Beam. It's actually pretty damn decent.
Yeah, I took a swig of that.
It's pretty good.
And it's
Smooth.
yeah, it's affordable. It's like $25. It's good.
You sound better.
It deepens his voice.
Well, light adjustments
I know,
and things.
I-
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. No.
Yeah, hey, a little whiskey does everything. I mean, listen to Tom Waits. I mean, come on, dude. He smoked most of his life and he drank whiskey the whole time, and he sounds fucking awesome.
I don't
No.
want to grow
It
up.
was Mike raising your levels. You still sound like shit technically, but I hear you better.
Oh, that's what it is.
Oh,
he just
and
wants
see,
to bring
that's
you
why-
down to a lower level.
Oh, I got
No,
you.
you're still shit. So.
Oh, well, you know.
He doesn't want to build you up too much.
Kind nurturer.
All right,
Well.
Carlton, you're not drinking on vanilla rum tonight.
I'm not drinking. I decided to try and eliminate that from the everyone's memory, but apparently you
Never.
guys still can
That's
actually
not
remember
gonna-
after being drunk.
They don't forget.
No, mostly
Oh,
tonight
trust
I'm
me,
drinking.
these assholes don't forget shit.
You're all fucking elephants.
Yeah,
Not actually proper fucking elephants, but you know what I meant.
My fucking proper elephants.
Anyway, no. So I've got the Strange Ways Berliner Weiss that I've been pounding most of the night, but I also brought in some Two Evil. Sorry. I just love saying it this way. Geyser goes in. I don't know why I can't stop doing
Usual
that.
Suspects, man.
Yeah, was that
I love that
the
movie.
villain in Usual Suspects?
Did you just say was that the?
Dude,
That's going to be the name of the villain in the reboot.
fuck, man.
Yeah, Geyser Golze was his name.
They're go-
Anyway, I'm a sour beer drinker because I'm just like that.
Because you're a sour dude.
Because
You sour
the world
bastard.
has soured me. Yes.
No, that is actually really good.
Yeah, I was actually. I mean, this is a completely. I brought this as a let's give it a shot kind of thing, and it's really good.
The
Berliner Weiss,
Berliner Weiss, that shit was like
a kick in the balls.
seriously, man.
Sour kick in
Like,
the
my
balls, that's why I love it.
Went into my stomach for like 10 minutes after drinking that shit.
They were in hiding.
Seriously, it's like it's
They're
just,
hibernating.
It's
like
power-
you just sucked all the
it's
moisture
really
out of it.
tart.
It's kind of sucked up.
The nickname for your balls now are Anne Frank.
Anne and Frank.
Anne and Frank.
I really want to read that diary. Were you really held against your will, or was this by choice?
Shit.
Actually, I guess they can't be named Anne and Frank because wouldn't Frank be the dong? I'm pretty sure.
I had to get the Frank above the beans.
How'd you get your Frank some other beans?
Oh, this was good.
You know, if Michael Bay directed The Diary of Anne Frank,
I would watch the shit out of
They have
that.
to hide in a fucking attic and be quiet. Okay, what about a Michael Bay movie? Screams
Explosions
quiet.
aren't quiet.
And
Exactly.
Frank would make a bazooka out of anything she had in that
Oh
attic.
God,
While writing her diary.
Shia LaDouche would be that dude that she's hidden up there with, that she's like got a crush on, and they
No,
make
no.
out, and she's weird about
He
it.
would play Anne Frank.
And for some random reason, you would have fighter jets in the background, even though it doesn't fit with that time. For some reason, you have
the
American fighter
Nazis had
jets in
fighter
the
jets all
background.
of a sudden.
And instead of like the Nazis just find them and then it ends, they like find them and they try to escape. You have the slow run scene.
Exactly.
True Michael Bay
Run,
fashion.
Anne, run!
And Frank's teeth just bouncing.
Yeah.
I can see what's on
Anne
your
Frank,
mind.
played by Megan Fox.
God damn it, you got there first. Megan Fox, I'm just a girl.
I'm totally writing this diary
This is like important shit. So
Why do you keep putting her in movies, Michael Bay? Well, she sucks my dick. I don't know what to tell you.
I had to hide from
Same
the
thing with
Nazis
Mark
because
Wahlberg.
I killed so many.
I thought that was Kristen Stewart. Didn't she suck director's dick? Not.
No, she fucked
That's why
him.
her face got stuck that way.
She just straight fucked him.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
No, that's why she's dead inside. To be honest. We
All
thought
right.
it was the Twilight movies. No.
It was-
Speaking of movies that need a reboot, no.
Really?
Moving on.
You like him glowing in the sunlight, don't you?
Look, I like sparkles. Okay.
You love sparkles.
I love
I
Look, I
figured
found
you
his.
did.
I found his tube of sparkly body lotion in the bathroom.
Is
when I
that what
went
it
to take a
was?
piss, yeah.
Is that why you're always shining?
Found. You bought it for me, motherfucker. Found.
He gave you
No.
a used too.
I didn't buy it for you. It was a gift.
Oh, okay.
It was a
We
re-gift.
don't discuss things when they're gifts. Or re-gifts in this case.
Yeah, probably.
Made me feel.
I'm starting to
that
rethink all that whole League of Space Pirates shit that you do. Like, it gets kind of weird. But no, we're getting into reboots and rebirths. I'm not going to mention the Miller Lite that Hunter's drinking. because
Last minute.
Yeah.
Ghetto ass pickup.
That is true. You stopped in the hood for that.
Yeah.
Good job.
But Groots, what are you drinking on besides? I was getting to that.
I think it's
What
Miller Lite, too.
what booze?
Well, as I mentioned,
Mentioned earlier.
like
Oh, did mention
5
Okay.
minutes ago, the
Remember you
Jim
turned his
Beam
levels up?
double
Oh,
oak,
right.
twice
Almighty.
barreled.
Is that what it
Okay.
was?
I think so.
Is that
I
And
believe that was
I had to
tasty,
make
too.
sure.
I tried
Jim
some of
Beam?
that. It was good.
It lowers your voice like Tom
is.
Waits, does it not?
It is a little bit.
Oh, right.
Hobbit's
Okay.
a little verklempt because he just lost
still-
his
he's-
team to.
No, he's Dale
LA.
Earnhardt drunk right now.
Oh,
right?
he's Dale Earnhardt.
Don't take it into the wall,
That's what it
man.
is. You drank the redneck wine, dude. You're done. for
What's
the
that
rest of the
saying?
night,
Man, I'm
See,
hitting a wall
That's
right
because
now.
it comes with its own roofies.
No, when you drink Dale Earnhardt wine, you don't get turnt, you get burnt. It's different.
All I see are comments coming out of the woodwork.
Highest rated episode.
Yeah,
Poorly rated episode, but still, most comments ever.
That was good, though.
it's free publicity. Let's hope we make
You
it.
don't get turned,
Nope,
you get
nope.
burnt.
Bad press
Oh,
is still
man.
press.
Yeah,
That might be the new title.
bad
of the
press is
episode.
good
This
press.
is the greatest second F ever.
And speaking of, we should probably get into the material a little bit.
Yeah, because we still got to shit on things, but we got to talk about things we're looking forward to, right?
Yeah, we actually are going to start the second half on an up note, talking about reboots and rebirths that we actually appreciated, that we enjoyed. And does anybody have one right off the bat here?
Daredevil. Oh, sorry.
Fucking Dread. Fucking
Dread.
Dread remake, reboot. Well, I call it remake because they should have rebooted the series and made multiple ones. I don't know whose dick's up whose ass, but it didn't happen.
That and
What, the sequel?
I think
The second
Yeah,
one?
Dread 2 never happened.
It's supposed to.
No,
No, it's not.
Netflix.
Carl Urban?
Netflix is what they're discussing
Yeah.
right now.
Really?
Discuss it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Urban's still a part of it.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
much. He's
I had heard.
He's like Ryan Reynolds for Dread.
Yeah, that's what I was going
well,
to
and
say.
Carl
Patience,
Urban,
patience.
like I've
Fuck
read
you, dude. It's 2012, man.
I've read interviews with Carl Urban that he's a legit dyed-in-the-wool nerd. The reason that he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
in that series, Almost Human, that might come up again when we're talking about giving a second chance.
That was good.
That was solid.
Or
I really
Bone.
enjoyed it.
How about Bones?
He's a great bone.
Obviously, he loved the character.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing. The first time I watched that, I was like, God damn, he is dead on.
Right?
Fucking.
And especially when he's like, oh, she left me with my bones.
On my bones.
Yep.
Drink.
Now, here's the only other thing about that. The Almost Human thing, wasn't that just Alien Nation redone? More or less, with a different...
No, it was androids.
Yeah, but I'm
I
saying, but
actually
it's
enjoyed
the
that
same
show.
storyline.
It was pretty good.
In the sense that it was, instead of an alien, it was an android.
Not really, because
Really? Weren't they cops, too?
I thought it was more like Blade Runner.
Yeah, that was Alien
I
Nation.
thought it was more like Blade Runner than anything else.
I mean, again, that's what we were talking about in the first half.
well, if you
Most
look at
things,
like
you can't... Anything is going to get compared to something else.
True.
well,
regardless of
examples
how
like
you cut it.
Alien
Nothing
Nation is
original.
basically Lethal Weapon with an alien.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Well, let's be honest. Mel Gibson's pretty much an alien.
pretty much.
We've all seen, you know...
Wait, is he a
the Christ movie.
Scientologist? Or
No, but he-
probably not.
Well, speaking of, you mentioned Blade Runner, and I know it's really a sequel and not so much a reboot, whatever, but I'm super fucking psyched
Yes.
for the Blade Runner sequel
Yeah.
coming out
Yeah.
this
Now,
year.
Here, my only concern about it is it like with Star Wars where Ford's just doing it because they're giving him cash, and he's just not into
I think
it.
he really loved working. He
Did-
hated working on Star Wars, but everything I've ever read, what he discussed about Blade Runner. He actually enjoyed that
Okay.
movie.
Actually, I heard the exact opposite. That he did
Really?
not enjoy the character, anything about it. It was tough for him, and it wasn't the most fun that he ever had.
But he said that about Han Solo too, or he said
He
about
said Han
working
Solo should have
underneath.
died in a
Right.
Jedi.
I mean,
right.
So maybe he just doesn't like acting. He just doesn't.
No. I think it
He
was
just
just.
doesn't leaving shit open ended, I guess.
I
Yeah.
think. Well, Blade Runner had a lot of problems. Like, the studio forced them to cut it like with a happy ending.
Well, that was the
and
question I was going to
bullshit.
ask with that is, are they continuing the storyline from the director's cut or from the theatrical cut? Because it's a completely different movie.
No,
Yeah.
it's. I mean, Ridley Scott is producing it, so
Yeah.
it's coming
Probably
from
his version.
It's coming from the director's cut / final cut sort of thing, and they got Denis Villeneuve or whatever to do it, who just did Arrival, and that was
I need to see.
that was
I
fucking
haven't,
amazing.
I haven't seen that
I
yet,
haven't seen
so
it
don't.
yet either.
Really fucking good. Watch it.
That's what I keep
Well,
hearing.
But I'm looking forward to it because like the trailer, it was really more of a teaser, but it was good.
Yeah.
And I felt like it captured like the
tone?
feel, the tone. Yeah, exactly.
I would say, and I made a huge list of like stuff that was a pleasant surprise, and I'm sure you guys would agree with this. Like Mission Impossible, at least the original movie, and then a couple of the new ones were actually very entertaining.
I don't know. Part
Wait.
2 was just wonderful.
Oh, Jesus
so you
Christ.
said a couple of new ones. So you mean like 1,
The
3,
newest,
4,
the
and
last,
5.
the last two. Of
He
the
was
most
good.
recent.
Philip Seymour Hoffman was a great villain.
He was
Ghost
good, but I
Girls.
didn't enjoy the whole.
Really?
It was shot well, but it
I
wasn't
think
a
they're all
great
good
movie.
except for 2. 2,
Such
John,
a big
John
it was-
Woo got a little
Wait,
dog crazy.
what you mean when you have doves in there? What
Exactly.
the fuck, Hunter?
Have there been 5? I thought there was only 4.
Look, 3 was
Ghost
Abrams.
Protocol and Rogue
3 was
Nation.
Abrams' first feature
It was
film.
Mission
Well, let me-
Impossible.
I thought it was
1, 2,
let me
and
see
3,
what you
Ghost
all-
Protocol, and then Rogue
Yeah,
Nation.
let me see how you guys think of this. Okay, so Mission Impossible, Friday the 13th, Batman Begins, Judge Dredd. Obviously, you already said that. Planet of the Apes, we talked about that earlier, but Evil Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Mad Max Fury Road.
Fury Road
Although
was a beast.
Fury Road
Fury
was
Road.
a reboot, it was a reimagining. There was no continuation on shit.
It was considered a continuation.
No,
Well,
here's the
no.
thing.
I
Here's-
don't know
Here's
about
my
that.
thing about that. I like the Mad Max movie, the first one. Love the Tina Turner one. No. Anyway.
Oh, you.
Oh, fuck you. I love the Tina
I
Turner
know.
one.
I do too, man. That's
You
just
had a
awesome.
boner for
Thunderdome.
Tina
Road
Turner.
Warrior, man. Road Warrior.
Yeah.
We
and that's
don't
the
need
thing.
another
The I wasn't sure about what
God
it
damn it,
was,
Hobbit.
whether it was a reboot or a continuation. So
Still
when I went to
dancing.
see it, I had heard so many like, it's fucking amazing. But when I watched it, I was like, this is the same fucking movie. It's the same movie as the original Mad Max.
No,
or
not Mad Max, Road Warrior.
but Road Warrior. I was like, this is pretty much the same movie. And everybody was saying that it was a like some people were going, oh, it's a continuation, and
Force
some people were going, oh, it's
Awakens?
a new. Well, they've all but admitted to that.
So you're saying
yeah.
it was basically
That's
a
formulaic.
direct reboot versus a
Yeah, but see, then
reimagining.
there's like people that have those theories where like he's actually the kid and they took the name.
I
or
heard
blah,
that
blah,
too,
blah.
yeah.
You got the same director though, so I feel
It's
like
the same director, and also if you look at the progression of the downturn of society, you look at the first Mad Max movie. There's still a government. There's still a police force.
Yeah, that's
there's
what I was
still
gonna say.
shit.
Road Warrior. It's not really like Road Warrior.
And then Road Warrior, it's like a little bit further on. Shit has fallen by, and
Road
there's
Warrior was first.
No, Mad Max was
Mad
first.
Max was first, then Road Warrior,
Yeah, my brain's
and
all
then
mush.
after Road Warrior is Beyond Thunderdome, where things are even further on, and then you get to fucking Fury Road, and it's even further past where
Water's
Thunderdome
basically
was.
almost dried up completely.
Water's
all the
almost
way.
completely gone,
Yeah.
and not only that,
So
but
it's like Solar Babies.
But people,
where's that remake?
Pluck that right
Yeah,
out of the nowhere.
where is that remake? Yeah, no shit. Let's get that in fucking was it
They're going to
Roller
make
Boys?
a remake of Labyrinth, I promise you.
They've been
they
talking
do
about
it,
it.
I promise you they're going to
They've
come
been
up
talking
with
about it.
One that I would say that I was
Prince was signed
pretty
up
much
for that.
shitting on before it came out and was extremely surprised on was the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Yes.
I am a huge fan of the original, and when they
Agreed.
even announced that, I was like, fuck this movie. It's like, all right, I'll give it a chance, and I was surprised. And look, James Gunn wrote the script.
You're talking about the one with Ving Rhames and
Yeah,
Yes.
the mall
Zack,
one.
the
Yeah.
Zack
Yeah.
Snyder
Yeah.
directed one.
Well, yeah, which Dawn of the Dead, the mall one or the mall one?
Yeah,
Let's
they're both
see.
in the mall.
You know what I meant.
I will say what they missed completely in that movie, and I enjoyed Dawn of the Dead. That's why I brought it up. It was a pleasant surprise. What they missed was the parody of American life. The whole point of them shooting in the mall and
Yeah.
seeing zombies walking around was to show the American life at that point in time, how they saw everybody was a zombie, a consumerism.
But even back
now,
in the
Romero
2000s,
so much
people
has
didn't
said
hang out
that.
in malls.
right? Well, they
verbatim.
They did say that, but they
He did,
didn't
yeah.
depict it on a visual level like the original did.
Correct.
That's the only problem I have with that movie.
Well, I was gonna say, for me at least, the film had a great opening. That was like what
Oh,
caught me,
yeah.
is just the way it opened, and then you cut fade to black, Johnny Cash, and then you have news clips, and just the way it started, I was like, all right, I'm gonna give this movie a chance, and I was pleasantly surprised.
You gotta love Zombieland was probably born from that reimagining.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
Zombieland
Zombieland was
would've had a
supposed to be a
chance.
TV show.
Really? I didn't know
Zombieland,
that.
the original, the Zombieland movie was originally supposed to be a TV show that they couldn't get greenlit, so they were like, well, screw it, let's just make a movie.
And then after the movie came out, the creators of Zombieland that I think were the ones that went on to do the Deadpool script. I think it's the same guys.
I think so.
They did a pilot for Amazon, a
remember
Zombieland series that was fucking terrible. It was really
Well,
not good.
and now Zombieland 2 is coming out.
Yeah.
which I'm fine with. I'm fine with the movie
Finally.
sequel.
Well, Woody Harrelson's coming
The
back.
thing is-
so, I mean,
is
what
that
can you-
Woody Harrelson's all over the place now.
Dude,
The
he's-
writing
He's
was
into
Han
the
Solo
apes.
movie?
He's doing that live movie from
Han Solo?
London.
Han
He's
Solo
in
movie.
the
he's
Han
going to be
Solo
in the
movie.
San Holo movie.
San Holo.
He's going to be his mentor.
That's the Asian reboot.
Han Solo's
Keep drinking
mentor.
some three. Keep drinking some three.
By the end of this bottle, I'm going to love NASCAR.
But Han Solo's mentor,
and
that's
dudes.
going to be cool.
Dude,
Probably.
NASCAR butt sex.
No, but the reason
sounds like a weird indie punk band.
no,
I'm going to
that's
reboot
that's
that asshole,
that's
boy.
Michael Bay doing Deliverance. That's what it is. It's just
NASCAR butt. All right, that's his whole pitch to the record execs, the movie. Shut up, he's rubbing off. All right, picture this: it's Deliverance with NASCAR butt sex. Here's your check, Michael Bay.
yeah, right.
And a lot of American flags.
Draped in America.
One movie I want to bring up that I was a major detractor on before it came out, and I was really impressed with when I finally saw it. I did not see it in the theater. I was poo-pooing it the whole time. Finally saw it. The Evil Dead remake
Yes.
Saw
was
that in theaters.
surprisingly good.
I will
Very
give you
good.
that.
So fucking well
You watched the
done.
director's the unrated cut yet?
Yeah, I think I have seen that.
Little
Yeah,
more-
it's
little more gore.
gruesome.
A
Yeah.
little more gore going on there.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously the blood looks like blood. It's not pink. So, there was a lot of things that added to the comedic element, whereas this remake of The Evil Dead,
No comedy.
no comedy
Well, this is
whatsoever,
more-
but they did the horror so fucking well.
And actually, Raimi said that that's what he wished he could have done.
That's what he tried to do in the
That's what he
first Evil
tried to
Dead.
do, and when it failed, they went, "Well, this is what we're going to do.
Well,
This
we're
is
gonna
how it's
roll
gonna
with the
work."
They
punches.
created
And he said
slapstick.
that, and that's why the series is so good.
That's why it's a good remake, is
Yeah.
because it's different.
Yes.
Right.
And anytime you reimagine something, it has to be different. You talked about like Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
They changed it up, So
Well, it's also it goes back to what you weren't here for this part, but it still falls perfectly in line. If something was done a certain way the first time, and the reason and the way it was done the first time is what made it so good, if you try to recapture that in a different time frame, you're not going to do it. So the fact that he couldn't make it super gory back then the way he wanted to, it went campy, and that's why people loved it. But
Right.
then you get to redo it full gore and no camp. It's the same mentality for the movie, same storyline, but it makes it different or better.
He was the only guy to remake it and then make it into a comedy.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
But here's the thing with
An
it, that
intentional comedy.
and this is the tightrope walk that I do along with so many other nerds about like remakes in general, and I think really kind of the main reason for having this episode is that if something is done and not done the same way as it was originally, and we love the original way, then we get fucking pissed. But then if they do it a different way, but it turns out really good, then we get okay with it. Like, it goes back and forth. Evil Dead was not done the same way that the original Evil Dead was done,
yeah.
which is what I was worried about when it came out, that they were going to do it differently. But they did it differently, and it was really good, and I love it.
You walk a fine line.
But then you got fucking Ghostbusters, where they go a totally different way with it, and they try to have their own tone on it, but it's shitty and terrible, and I hate it, and I get like fucking, like, I feel like chest pain when I talk about it. It's fucking awful, but it's the same thought process. It's like, well, make it your own. Okay, but your own sucks. Like, so
Or two of I can't think of the director's name, but Total Recall and RoboCop, where you pretty much, and they go, oh, we got all this stuff we can do now, and they go, oh, we just fuck it up.
You know you fuck
Don't
up
remake Paul Verhoeven movies.
That's what I was
and you
just
know
don't do it.
You know you're a shitty director when you can even make Bryan Cranston suck.
And you know you fucked up at remakes when you take an amazing rated R movie, and when you reboot it, you want to make it PG-13. Why the fuck would you do that?
You just don't do that.
Because it can fit in more theaters.
I don't give a fuck.
That's why they do it.
Exactly. Fuck that shit. It didn't make its money back. Fuck it.
No.
Yeah, I'm glad it got broken.
As a parallel, and this might have been said in the first half, but a good fucking remake is akin to a good cover song. Okay.
Yes.
When
Put your own stank on it.
Yeah, exactly. You got to make it different. You know, when Johnny Cash does a Nine Inch Nails song, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. You know it is because
So when Marilyn Manson
Well, the band
does a
yeah.
He shits all
does a
over it.
Doors song,
he did it.
it's horrible.
Well, he also did
Right.
an Annie Lennox song, which,
Yeah,
for its
true.
time, came out. It was powerful.
Kyle,
Yeah, no.
Kyle, your goth's showing.
He-
So.
Fuck you.
Pull that hat down further.
he
What,
did.
safety pins.
Life's so sad.
Manson did some good covers.
Yeah, he did.
But he did some bad ones too, and that's what it's all about. You know, I mean, like
I thought the hokey pokey was.
you have to make it new. You have to
holy
make it
pokey?
interesting.
Well,
So
that's what I was saying about the Dawn of the Dead is that
Yeah.
he put a little twist in there and gave you kind of a different perspective
Running
on it.
zombies.
and,
running
and
zombies.
fucking running zombies, dude. Like
Yeah.
that was the first time like zombies were like, I'm gonna sprint at your ass, and
That's
shit.
way more terrifying.
That shit in the movie theater when I saw it was like, whoa,
Well, I feel like
whoa.
28 Days Later kind of actually.
well,
attacked
that's
that
what I was gonna
before.
say.
Well,
He
yeah,
kinda
but-
took,
But they weren't
he took the
zombies.
concept of 28 Days Later and put it
Concept,
into.
yes.
they were and they weren't. It was again
They
with
spit blood on you and spread their virus, and that's it. They didn't eat or you at all.
well, but they were dead though. They were dead.
were they
Because
dead?
at the end of it, when they're all dying, like they're still dying and there's
They
just
were
bones and shit on the
infected.
side of the
Yeah,
road.
yeah, I
they
guess
were
you're
dead
right.
still because they got killed and then they did that. But
They were just pure rage.
They were- yeah.
They were rage monsters.
and that's the thing. That's why when 28 Days, I'll say that too. When 28 Days Later came out, it was like, fuck, another zombie movie, really?
But
then it was like, oh shit, it's a different kind of zombie.
They spawned an awesome sequel with an original story.
Correct.
28
also-
Weeks Later had an original story
Yeah.
off of 28
I would
Days
say
Later.
it's one of the better sequels
Yes.
to that.
It also
Yeah,
looked
yes.
like Train Spotting with zombies. Like
True.
that's
Well,
exactly
also
what
true.
they
Same
were.
That's because
director.
they had what's his face in it. Yeah, that's why I like
yeah.
Now,
Trainspotting.
the other thing that's funny about that is
Danny Boyle.
people
Danny
like
Boyle.
Danny
Yeah.
Boyle.
people like Romero who come up with ideas from the get-go. I mean, he was the originator of that
Right.
shit. Now that he's moved into the 21st century or whatever, he's even reimagining the stuff he's been doing.
Poorly.
And sometimes
But
it hits
by
and
making him
sometimes
use
it misses
tools.
it.
It hasn't hit.
Yeah.
No, I will say that with all the stuff that was going on with the fake news and all the stuff in this election,
God damn it.
revisiting Diary of the Dead is not a bad idea. Although I'm not exactly
kinda
a big,
where I was going with
I'm not
that.
a big I'm not a big fan of the movie, but it talks about that when you have 82 different outlets for the same story and they're all slightly different versions, which one is the truth?
It's called
And-
the phone, the old game, the
Telephone game.
Telephone. That's
Yeah.
basically what it is.
One reboot I would say we're going to move to TV for a second. That, in my opinion, is the best fucking reboot
Oh, do it.
reimagined is goddamn Battlestar. Battlestar
Oh,
Galactica.
yeah.
See, I
where
never watched
literally
the
you
show
take something
or-
that was technically a failure the first time it came out. It had one season, 2 seasons.
It was dark back in the day.
Yeah, but
it was
they-
too dark for TV.
But Sci-Fi Network picked it up, and holy shit, it is so fucking good. And like that right there, you took a property, saw the potential in it, and made it fucking
Agreed.
badass.
You thought he was going Daredevil, weren't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
You got so excited, and then you were like, oh, that too.
no, I thought it was going a different way.
The
Which we'll
channel
discuss.
Sci-Fi saved that genre, anyways. From a non movie perspective, like it saved that genre. That's why it exists, because of those movies that either didn't work before but would work now for a more us generation.
When the first Battlestar came out, they just said, "Oh, it's just them trying to do." It was right after Star Wars.
Right.
Like, oh, it's just Star Wars for TV. That's all it is. And like the new Battlestar, just they had their whole own universe.
Well, since I already mentioned it, I'll say it again, and that's the Daredevil.
Too much. Hold on.
the new incarnation.
The new incarnation.
Fantastic.
For the-
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
was
Okay,
there
good.
there wasn't anything before the Batfleck version. of the movie, right? There was never a Daredevil anything else.
No.
No,
There was a
okay.
Captain
there was
America
the Hulk.
for
It's
sure.
probably all the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, I was about to say it was in a TV
Well,
series
yeah,
as an
With
auxiliary
a horrible
character.
Daredevil.
But the Ben Affleck thing was
Oh,
just
shit.
a complete.
Which, by the way, was not his fault. He did not neither write nor direct the
Stop
movie.
defending Affleck.
Fuck you.
No,
Look,
okay, we all
Affleck
know-
has earned respect.
We
I'm
all
sorry.
know. We all know that when he, yes, directs stuff, he does gold. I mean, we've got Gone Baby Gone, we've got The Town,
I don't know,
we've got Argo.
the new one looks kind of not great.
Eastwood directed.
Which one's
Gone
that,
Baby
the-
Gone.
The,
Live by
the
Night?
like gangster
You
flick.
talking
He
about
directed
Live?
that one?
Yeah, he
Live
directed
by
that.
Night. Yeah, I'm not
Open
terribly
today, by
impressed.
the way.
How'd it do?
It looks like that movie. He,
Find out in about 2 hours.
Silence, crickets.
It looks like that movie he did about the online like poker thing. Do you remember that?
Rounders?
No, it wasn't
Rounders 2,
That was
Electric
Matt
Boogaloo.
that was Matt
Yeah.
Damon. He did
Yeah,
the
yeah.
smart thrill. You know,
Oh no, I don't know.
Because Rounders was great.
Rounders was
Rounders
awesome.
is fucking
minus
fantastic.
fucking John Malkovich's fucking terrible
Yes,
Russian
son of
accent.
fucking
bitch.
awesome.
But
Dude,
he
that
had
shit was hilarious.
I fuck you with your own. Yes.
But he had Oreos. That was his tell. It was Oreos.
Yep. But I mean, like I said, with the Ben Affleck version of Daredevil, I was like, well, first of all, and I've always said this, I think I say it every fucking time I'm on this podcast. Certain things that are really great comics or really great in written form just will not ever translate well to live action. They just don't. And
Fantastic
I've been
Four?
proved wrong.
Oh,
a
like
couple
Superman.
First off, that means you're talking shit about the Christopher Reeve Superman, and you should slap yourself.
I love those two movies.
That was really Richard Pryor's vehicle.
Look, I showed
And,
my daughter's
no, those
5.
But being said, is the reason why I love those movies is 'cause when I first saw them, I was 5.
Yeah.
And I had terrible taste
And
because I
now
was
his
5.
mentality has not reached past
Not at all.
5.
Exactly.
Neither of
That
us.
stunted
no one
my
sitting
mental
here-
growth.
No one sitting here has probably progressed past that point, or else we wouldn't be sitting here.
No, we're 12, around 12, because we're
13,
like
puberty.
boobs.
We like
Yeah.
boobs.
Yeah.
Those
No.
early Christopher Reeves movies were fantastic.
Thank you. As they
Come
were
on.
so great that although George Reeves did really well in the serials, he will never compare to.
You just like it because Ben Affleck played him in fucking Hollywood Land.
No. Although he did play.
Goes all back to fucking Affleck.
He did play that well.
We just got back.
You know, reboots. Talk about reboots. You know, what Superman has had his share, his fair share, especially when it comes to TV or
Smallville
cinema.
and, yeah.
And
Talking-
although
Talk to Brandon Roth.
I'm a
Brandon
huge
Routh.
Smallville fan, Brandon Routh, for example, he carbon copied Christopher Reeve, which would be
Tried to.
okay.
Terribly.
He tried to.
Yeah.
terribly.
Nothing.
And that has way
Yeah.
more to do with Snyder than it has
right.
to do
And
with
then you have Henry
anything.
Cavill.
Oh, not Snyder.
or-
Singer.
Oh,
Singer,
Singer.
sorry, Singer.
Yeah, Brian Singer. I think
They're
he's
interchangeable.
just in love
Snyder
and wanting
for
to
this
see him
one.
in tight suit.
Snyder's to blame for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
then you
that's
get
what
to
I-
Man of Steel, which was
Shit
a,
fest.
shut up.
Look,
I
I will
liked
say
Man of
this.
Steel.
I will defend Man of Steel
Yes.
only
It wasn't a
because
shit fest.
it wasn't a shit fest.
No,
it
not
was,
at all.
It was okay.
It was an updated version of, like, that's the thing. Like, one of the things you have to understand about Superman is when it was super popular and big and everything.
We were fighting
it was,
Nazis.
We were, yeah, and the
Or getting
three
close
most
to it.
important things in American life were God, family, and country, and that's what he stood for.
yeah.
Well, they may even make a joke to it in Man of Steel. It's like,
Oh no, it's you're talking about Superman Returns. We says.
oh yeah.
He says you
all
know,
that stuff. Does he
yeah,
still
all
believe in
that
all that
stuff,
stuff?
yeah.
Yeah. But they don't do that in Man of Steel. They do much more of a gritty. And now, if you really want a good laugh, if you haven't seen it already, the honest trailer for it is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty good.
How does Superman shave his beard? I just assumed that
Yeah.
he was like the fucking hairless fucking surfer type dude that
Actually,
he didn't grow a fucking
Hancock
beard.
Hancock showed you how to do that. If you watch the movie, he like just takes his
Scrapes
fingernails
it.
and scrapes it off.
Yeah.
Ugh.
There you go.
That's disgusting.
Dirty,
that needs,
but it
that
is what
fucking
it
movie
is.
needs a sequel, by the way.
Thank you.
All right.
Fuck you
All right.
guys.
Since we're on this route with
You don't
all
like it
this,
because he's a black superhero.
You shut up, Ginger.
Yes, that's why.
up, Ginger.
Yes, that's why.
So
Oh, you'd much rather see a second Suicide Squad with Will Smith. I see. All right.
You're evil. Worst
Sorry, go
line
ahead,
of the
Steve.
whole movie.
I'm gonna
Sorry, buddy.
I'm gonna get away from the Boy Scout who got ass raped and go on to a better superhero. A reboot that surprised the shit out of me some almost 10 years ago was fucking Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That was
Yeah,
a
which
reboot
which
that
Kyle brought
fucking
up
came
or
out.
mentioned, but
You mentioned, but like no, but and seriously, think about the time frame.
That property
you
was
were going
dead.
on Batman and Robin.
Let's
after
be
that,
clear
dude.
though. Let's be clear
You know?
though. Burton, and I know you shit on him earlier, but Burton's Batman and Batman Returns
Awesome.
were, I look at
Staples
those
for the
as
90s.
completely independent of what continued afterwards.
No,
I
that was
agree.
Schumacher bullshit.
I look
Yes.
at those as completely independent from superhero movies. They're their own little things.
Yeah.
I mean, they're superhero movies, sure, but they're also super Tim Burton movies.
Yeah.
Same thing with Christopher Nolan. Like,
Yeah,
his Dark Knight trilogy is Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, and
It's
that's
not like
that's what I'm
Batman.
getting at. I see like the third one and the what I don't even know how many they made at
Three.
that point. Was it three more?
You talking about after
Two
Tim
more.
Burton.
After Tim Burton.
Two more.
Yeah. All of those I consider like really high budget fan films. Like I think they were so shittily done.
Let's make it a rave.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
put as much neon paint as we can.
People took
in
like
this.
dog shit and glow sticks and glitter and put it together
Right.
and just threw it into a
Exactly.
river.
Like I read an interview with Michael Keaton recently about why he didn't
Yep.
didn't stay
Oh,
after Tim
yes.
Burton left, and he said basically when Schumacher came to him was like, "Why has Gotham got to be dark?" He rolled out.
Yeah.
He just rolled.
He
the fuck
obviously
out,
didn't
dude.
get the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, when you go down the alleyway and there's black lights, so all the neon on the gangs is showing
Uh-huh.
up, not a good sign. All right.
No.
Like,
tapping
why is
out.
there black lights down this alleyway?
But that's
Oh no,
all-
the neon gang!
That's only with Robin.
Oh,
Fuck
yeah.
both those movies.
And then they brought
Schumacher,
Batgirl in the fourth.
honestly,
dude.
Nolan had a huge thing.
Alicia
task.
Silverstone. Is
Nolan had-
Alicia Silverstone
Her
is
last role ever.
right.
It
See,
was.
well, Excess
Holy
Baggage
shit.
with Benicio del Toro.
No,
Terrible movie.
that wasn't a role.
What is it about comic book movies? Because didn't Sean Connery quit acting after League of Extraordinary
Yes.
Gentlemen? So
Yes,
that's
he
just a
did.
thing that happens.
He was like,
yeah, and
done.
He's a good actor though.
No, and Alicia Silverstone, I'm not a huge fan of, but she's not a bad actress. She's got her little thing that she does.
She was awesome in Clueless.
She was great in Clueless, and that one where she was like the fucking the
She was
debutante
not
that
an
got
American
kidnapped
Beauty.
or whatever, and
The what?
Who was that?
she was a
Yes.
debutante that got kidnapped and like fell in love with her kidnapper or something.
That's Excess Baggage.
Excess Baggage. Yeah,
It wasn't Reese.
She
Reese.
planned her own kidnapping
Who was it then?
in that movie.
yeah, that's what it
Who was
was.
in
it
yeah.
was a
Beauty.
goddamn
Who's the blonde?
awful movie.
The bug-eyed chick. I can't remember her name.
No.
The one
It was-
from American Pie.
Not Chloe Sevigny.
Yes.
The one from American Pie.
American Pie.
Yes, her.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
It's not Chloe Savini.
Mira's, no, not Mira either.
Just somebody look it
You're
up.
close.
Mina, I don't know.
Hey, does
Mina
this
Savari,
matter at
is
all?
Mina Savari. Yes.
Mina Savari, thank you.
Okay.
Still doesn't matter.
We're at the
How about
shit
you
show
just-
part of it.
Yeah, how about
God
you
damn
just-
it.
How about we get a reboot of
How about
American
you just look at
Beauty?
the levels and let us talk?
Oh, is that what I've been reduced to at this point?
Fix my levels, bitch.
I invite you guys over to be on the podcast so I can be the lapdog that does all the work. Is that
You,
that how this-
you're a good boy.
Sounds about right.
Aw.
Sounds about right.
no, I was just looking for good boy. I'm good now.
Okay.
No, we're fine. Okay.
Want me to
I'd
pat
pet
you.
you.
Want me to pat you?
Yeah, I want you to pat.
Since we're talking about
I'd pat me. I'd pat me hard. All right, Hunter.
since we're talking about comic movies, can we just move to comics for a second? But
Yes.
Yes. No, actually, for
I was
a
going to
couple.
say one of the big pleasant surprises for me was Whedon's run on X-Men. Like that was one
Yeah.
of those where it was a reboot. He took the characters, he could do whatever he want. And at first I was like, this might turn out like a shit show. And a pleasant surprise. It was
It's
fucking
it's
amazing.
one of my
He did a
my
work.
favorite
It's what
runs.
started me as a Joss Whedon fan.
It was it's Claremont's Dark Phoenix saga, and then followed directly by Astonishing X-Men. Whedon's run are my two favorite X-Men runs.
Yeah.
Period.
I don't want to go into a down note, but speaking of, I know this is about reboots and rebirths, but you know, you're gonna bring up X-Men. Like apparently that's gonna.
That's shit now.
Well, that no, they're talking about they're gonna like weed out the X-Men to where they're gone.
comics?
Well, have you seen
Oh, in
the-
the comics,
Yeah.
yeah.
they've been trying to do that for 2 years
Yeah.
because I'm not reading it.
Well, have you seen the new show coming out? Isn't that supposed to be like
Oh,
Legion?
Legion?
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be like almost a rebirth of that again.
Audrey
Well,
Plaza
Legion-
or whatever
Legion
her
showed
name
up
is?
in,
or-
New Mutants. Legion showed up in New Mutants. Yeah.
He's responsible for Age of Apocalypse.
Yes.
Not
Yeah.
to get to
No, seriously though. But Legion's an awesome character,
Yeah.
so the fact that you're
Excuse
show
me,
about it
sir.
is pretty badass.
But
they're not
I
going to
thought-
make it X-Men-esque.
I thought the
know.
whole concept. I didn't think it was. Is it about a person or is it about?
it's
It's about a. I
It's-
thought it was kind of like
it's
the
Professor
new.
X's son, and he's got mental problems and mutant powers. So you get this one of those things where he's got multiple
okay.
personality
See, I
disorder.
understand. When I watched it, I thought it was more of like a, almost like a first class series.
Well,
like where they're
supposedly-
discovering
supposedly
multiple
supposed
mutants.
to take place in the 60s or 70s.
That sounds like Alphas,
so-
which is a
I'm pretty
fucking
stoked- I'm
terrible
pretty
show.
stoked.
That was
yeah, I
terrible.
want to see it. So
We'll see, but
Yeah.
All right, we don't have a lot of time, so let's delve into really quick
What we wanna see.
what we want to see rebooted or rebirthed and kind of. Oh my God, Kyle
Kyle's
looks so
gonna
excited. I'm not used to seeing that in a Phillies fan. Usually it's
not
the
smiling.
disappointment.
It's
Is it
out.
more anger and violence?
Yes,
okay,
usually,
That's
yeah.
fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
just don't do that here.
Yeah, please.
I won't do any anger.
I
and
have way
violence.
too much equipment here.
This is the house of peace. This is where we
no,
go
that's
to-
not that either.
No,
Wrong
okay,
house.
okay. I would say
It's the house of don't break my shit. That's
I won't. I promise. There's probably a million things I'd like to see, but as you guys know me,
today, Junior.
Monster Squad.
Okay.
I would love to see
Oh,
Monster.
God.
I don't want to see a reboot of that though.
No,
dude.
what I want to see is a reimagining. I don't need to see like a direct reboot in which
You wanna
they
see
try to
Rebirth.
copy it. I just want to see what they would do with all those movie monsters, the Universal monsters, and the same thing.
See, I don't even like the fact that they're trying to reboot the Universal monsters.
agreed.
I don't either.
Because
Like the Tom Cruise one for the Mummy.
I'm not down.
Basically looks like Mummy 4.
that was
Like it's the
Sans
ghost.
Brandon Fraser.
It's the Ghostbusters reboot of the Mummy.
Yeah,
it's
that
a
was
girl
part of-
mummy and Tom Cruise. Like
that
it
was
doesn't
part
make
of
any
my
sense.
why do it list.
Yeah.
All right, if there is a property that goddamn reboot, do it right, get a good fucking director, screenwriter. Can we please fucking have a good Alien vs Predator movie? I mean,
Yeah.
fuck,
Dude.
it
Yeah.
seems so
But we're getting
simplistic.
Covenant though. We are
I
getting
know,
Covenant.
and that's what I'm saying is
But it doesn't
go
have a-
off of that. But it seems so simplistic. Aliens fucking badass. Predator's fucking badass. Alien vs Predator, shit movie.
Don't
get-
involve humans.
You get Guillermo del Toro because
Yes.
he knows the simplicity of it's giant robots fighting monsters,
It's
and they
monsters
fight.
versus monsters.
It's monsters versus monsters. He would be able to keep it very simple, where like the people, sure, keep people in there, cool.
Take it
They're
off
just
of-
cannon fodder.
Is
they
it,
get
is
murdered.
it just me
all,
that
like,
thinks though
crazy.
that
Yeah.
that sometimes properties don't need to cross over to still be cool? Like
I mean, it
Alien
was
on its
awesome in
own.
the comics though. Alien vs Predator.
Yeah,
comics
well, see,
was
I don't
awesome.
have that. I don't have that.
That's the thing.
insight.
There's
That's
so
what I'm
much
going with.
background on them
But again,
crossing
that's
over.
one of those things. Just like the Hulk is really good in comics, and Thor is really, his own
Nah,
thing.
it's comics,
But,
First thing, it's very simple.
but just because it works well in comics doesn't mean it translates well to film. Like
Right.
Watchmen, the highest-grossing
That movie
comic
was
book of
really
all
good
time,
for what they
and
did.
I was like,
Hey,
I've never
sir.
even heard of this.
Yeah, actually,
Slow your roll.
you've got people in disagreement. I very much
Whoa.
enjoyed The Watchmen.
well, the one I was
Very
talking
much.
about the movie.
The movie.
Yes.
Yes, because it was a completely direct adaptation. Zack Snyder
What they
doesn't.
could do.
He does not know how to do things that involve imagination.
This
he
is-
could just take what he sees and he makes it pretty.
And
This
considering it was called the unfilmable comic, he did as best as anyone could have done with that
Now,
property.
which iteration of it though? The director's cut, the ultimate cut, or the super duper Watchmen cut, or whatever the fuck it was
All right,
called?
settle the fuck down. Are you going to talk shit on Blade
sounds
Runner
like-
next? Is that what you're going to
That
do?
sounds like every
I
DC
wouldn't compare
movie in the last
Watchmen
10
to Blade
years.
Do what?
You just compared the cuts of Blade
Look,
Runner to the
this
Well,
is-
I'm saying that he's talking about like all the cuts from
Well, no,
Watchmen.
the only
and-
reason I say that is because I
Evil
saw a
Dead.
thing. I saw some write up about it because I guess one of the guys from Watchmen is going to be the villain in the. Wow, alcohol is a hell of a thing. The
Words are hard.
water guy, the
Aquaman.
There you go, the water guy.
Water dude.
Fucking Christ,
Talking about
he's the villain in the
Water
Aquaman
dude.
movie.
Now the
you're talking
question
about his
is,
brother.
His brother
Yeah.
is the villain in the Aquaman movie, and
Aquaman's
he's
al-
one of the guys from Watchmen.
Aquaman's already a laughing stock, but if he was known as Water Guy,
That's what I came up with. My brain could not form
thing
the
is,
words.
it's-
Water guy,
it's-
your helmet sucks.
it's DC,
Hey,
so
don't touch that girl.
You should
I'm
have
gonna throw
more
this starfish
have
at
more
you.
imagination, asshole.
The water guy's here.
I'm
Oh shit!
Water
I guess I got
Guy.
my water turned off.
I always think about that
I
Chappelle
didn't pay
skit
my
where he's
bill.
talking about Aquaman, and he's like, "Hi, fish, what's going on?" "Hi, Aquaman," and then he's like, "Any problems in the sea?" "Hi, Aquaman." Like that's it. Like, and I'll just.
And then
talk
a
about
I
it.
shark
like the
comes
Family
in-
Guy version where the girl's getting raped on the beach, and he's like, "Hey, you stop that!" And he throws a starfish at him, and he's like, "If you don't like starfish, you're really not gonna like what's next to you. You can't do anything."
God
He's
damn
like,
it.
"Help!"
Holy fuck.
All right, so moving on to things that we feel like
Wanna
needs
So,
a
Monster Squad for him.
Needs rebooting?
No, something you'd like to see.
You'd like to see rebooted.
Ooh.
Or rebirthed. Something that, like, a film that you would like to see an adaptation of.
Or a show.
Or show, something.
I'm a bad person to ask that too because
That
I
is true.
really
Everything.
I really enjoy the nostalgia of great films.
Do you want us to come back to you?
Yes, we can
Okay.
come back to yeah.
Carlton.
I don't know why this popped into my head when you posed these questions to us online, but I loved the show, so I would really like to see a Quantum Leap.
Yes.
No, I'm down for that though.
Like
Quantum
I
Leap?
thought that was like, I mean, just the concept of, and I know it sounds hokey as shit, but the concept of like being able to help people and all that stuff, that was one of the things that was like the only thing that kind of captured childhood a little bit was like, hey, there's actually good in the world. Now, if they were to reboot it with anybody, it would probably be dark as shit, and it's like trying to now. In saying I'm all over the place right now, sorry, but in saying that there were some dark parts of Quantum Leap.
Sure.
Yeah.
The
Well, the
JFK thing was fucking amazing. I still remember that to this day.
I mean-
where in the original timeline, quote unquote, both he and Jackie died in the car.
Right.
And when Quantum Leap, when Scott Bakula went back and he saved Jackie O. And it was like, holy shit, they made it all come together. Like, it was crazy how they did it. And that was the first time I'd ever seen something sci-fi where it was like, you think it's going one way, and you're like, oh, I know what this is. And then it turned the tables, and you're like, motherfucker. Yeah.
Well, I mean, how dark could it be when you have a guy who basically the quantum part is his soul? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
His
That was the
soul
only
takes
part
over the
that-
soul of the body of
I
another
know.
person, and then
That's the
controls
reason I
their
hated Lost
actions.
at the end.
And then controls their actions for a certain amount of time to make shit okay, and then they jump into another soul. It's like it kind of
Why
like
you gotta shit
know
on it,
what?
man?
I'm just saying.
I don't make fun
love-
of your fucking football team, so... No, I'm just
Are they
kidding.
is it gonna have the keyboard with his buddy? The
I
big
don't know.
block.
Ziggy.
Fucking
Yeah.
Ziggy, yeah.
No, Ziggy was the computer.
No, Ziggy was a computer. Was
Al
his friend.
was the-
Al.
Yeah.
Come on, people.
Which,
Cigars.
by the way, if any of y'all watch It's Always Sunny, the first episode this season is a complete shout out to Quantum Leap.
Is it?
To the point where Scott Bakula is in the goddamn episode.
Is he
Nice.
really?
Yeah.
Shit.
I've
Yeah.
never been able to tolerate that
What,
show,
you're
but
saying-
I might have to go.
you're saying that-
wrong, sir.
I've tried on many occasions, and I just could not get
How
into
about
it.
The Illusionist? We could do a remake of that.
No, I'm
Scott
confused.
Bakula's
Like, Scott
worst.
Bakula, so
Oh,
he's not
Lord of
living...
Illusions,
he's
not
not
the
living...
Illusionist.
I'm sorry, you're right. That was Edward Norton.
Are you saying you don't like It's Always Sunny?
I've tried to watch it. I've just never... I don't know that I don't like it. I just have not been able to get into it.
Really?
Yeah. I
It's
just haven't.
totally your personality,
You'd
man.
think.
It's completely your personality.
Cats and socks. I just can't get it.
I'll
Right.
stab you, Ginger.
Hunter, what would you like to see redone?
Well, besides
This podcast.
No shit.
I was gonna say I did Alien vs Predators is one of them, but I mean honestly, just it was taunting. Now I go back to Battlestar. They did a prequel. What's it called? Iron and Blood or something like that. That was shit. But-
Blood and Chrome.
Yeah, Blood and Chrome, but an actual good prequel besides Caprica. Besides that,
Sure.
like a
Because
redo of
Caprica,
that.
I enjoyed Caprica, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the obligatory one because you gotta jump on the grenade for something like this. There's one that we all agree, or should, and if you don't, get the fuck out. That
GTFO.
needs to be
You want it to be continued,
Rebirths.
not...
Rebirth.
Don't lie. You
No,
want it to
no.
be continued.
Firefly.
Yes.
Now,
Well, they're doing that in animated format, so.
no, they're not. No,
thought they
that
were
was a
doing
fan
that.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, that was.
Yes.
It was just
Fucking
Fucking fake news.
It was
just
just-
like seeing. Wait.
It was just
That's-
really
that's
well
it.
done. But
Hashtag Trump Nation.
I've talked about this with several friends. The way you do it is that you get Joss Whedon to be an executive producer. You get him involved where he has like creative oversight on it. But he's busy. He can't be there to direct. He can't be there to be like on location the whole
Yes,
time.
he can. He's not that busy.
He's doing a lot of shit.
He's not doing another Avengers movie. He can.
got
He's
time.
done with that shit.
Yeah.
He can do another fucking
I
Firefly
think
series.
to properly do it, maybe you can set it up so that you can have cameos from the original cast, but you focus on maybe another crew. The one that I'm thinking of right offhand is Mal's buddy, who also married Saffron. the beardy motherfucker from that one episode.
I shaved my beard for you, devil woman.
Exactly, that dude. You get his crew. You follow him.
Better idea. You take, now that the show has ended its run, you take Castle and you just shoot him into space.
That would be hilarious.
It's another way of going.
Yeah,
with it,
man.
but-
Hey,
That would
you
be
got to
hilarious to
It's
watch.
an extended universe. That's what it is.
But ultimately, I think it's not just the characters. That's definitely a part of it with all the Serenity crew. Absolutely.
Well, shit,
That-
if Rogue One has taught us anything, it's that. Hey, look, it's R2-D2. Yay!
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with it.
no, exactly.
He's there, and I'm happy.
But that's part
It's
of it.
this
but
universe is real.
Something but that's also part of it is that the reason that people love Star Wars, even when there's characters that they aren't familiar with in the universe, is that the universe itself is a character.
Yeah, now see,
That-
that's one thing I will say about Rogue One. Like, I had no fucking idea who Saw Gerrera was, or whatever the hell his name is. But apparently the Clone Wars cartoon, he's a big fucking person in it. And everybody's like, oh, he's on the screen. I'm like, I don't know who that is, but they tied it together really well, so I'm going to go with it.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Well, and with Firefly, like the idea of you have the opportunity that Kaylee, or well, not Wash,
we'll be
not Wash.
we'll be naked
Yeah.
someday.
but that you'll see a couple of them pop in occasionally, like
But see,
for something.
you can't have it both ways, Mike. All of the people from Ghostbusters popped into the Ghostbusters reboot, and you didn't like that.
Not all.
Not all of them. Some of them
Venkman
were
kinda-
sleeping for a long, long time.
Yes.
That's
He had
what we
a
tell the
statue, though. He had a
kids.
statue, though. So.
Yeah, he did.
He had a statue.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But cameos don't make it bad. It can be bad and have cameos.
actually,
cameos don't make it bad.
Bill Murray's cameo.
Bill Murray.
Bill's Murray.
Isn't
that
that a type of
Bill's
role?
Murray.
which by,
I'm the Bill's Murray Doughboy.
which,
number 3
which,
wine
by the way, is
talking.
the preview for next episode you're going to listen to is our Bill Murray episode for Groundhog's Day.
Is that
So-
next- is that next
yeah, that's
week?
next week.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it!
The Bill Murray cameo in that movie was fucking awful.
It was terrible.
It was awful.
Yeah.
You could tell he was phoning it the fuck in.
I do have
That's all
one
he ever
extra,
does,
which most of you might hate, except for I think Grooch will probably like the Guyver. I think that deserves a reboot. Do you
What does?
remember that?
The
It was
Guyver?
1991.
The Guyver.
Mark Hamill was in the motherfucker.
All right, let's reboot Free Jack. Why not? Like, let's just
First
fucking
off,
throw
Hey,
The
bullshit
Guyver
out
was
here.
an awesome.
That would be awesome, by the way.
Yes.
That would be fucking
I'm fully
amazing.
on board with the Free Jack reboot.
The Guyver as a
I don't even know
as
what
a
that is.
reboot. You've never
You
seen
can
the
still-
Guyver?
I've
can-
it was
seen
a biological.
MacGyver, and they tried rebooting that, and
It was
failed.
it was an alien biological suit held in the neck of the main character, like held right in the
I'm
back of
already
the
off.
neck.
I'm already out.
Basically, all he had to do was think, and the suit would cover him. And then he fought aliens who
So,
looked like dinosaurs,
Iron
but it
Man,
had
pretty
Mark
much?
Hamill in it.
Well, it sounds like Iron Man. All right, cool.
It was ridiculous.
Was that a manga first? Or
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I haven't even watched it yet because it
Oh,
hasn't
okay.
started yet. But
What?
how about unnecessary rebirths? Fucking 24.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Legacy.
Like, no.
I was gonna say real quick, one of the best rebirths of a movie going to a TV show, motherfucking Westworld.
Westworld.
Yeah.
Caught me
Yes.
off guard because I was like, how the fuck are they getting?
And
it's
and
Westworld.
I told Lowdown he hadn't seen it yet, and before the AI episode, did you get all the way through it or mostly through it?
I finished it.
Yeah.
I couldn't stop watching it. It was
I
so
told him
fucking
this
good,
was
dude.
like
Oh,
this.
you did? You've watched them all?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
oh, yeah.
good.
I have not watched an
so
episode,
good.
so please.
Oh,
Oh.
Fucking
I
failing,
plan-
sir.
fuck you.
Plug
I
your
plan-
goddamn ears. then.
I will watch it before the new season
I'm sorry,
starts.
you've had 10 weeks.
No, we're not
Yeah,
waiting
here's
until
the
the new
thing.
season, dude.
You've got plenty of time because they're not doing the new season until 2018.
Oh well, then
Yeah.
well, I'm fucking good. Fuck.
No, but we can talk about it because you're fucking
Talk
slack.
about it after the
No,
podcast.
fuck you.
Not even spoilers. With
Jersey
Westworld,
bastard.
It's so well done.
Philly.
it's
Fuck.
so well done. It's so insightful, and it's like high thought. Like it does not
Seriously.
speak down
Like-
to its audience, and not only that, but it's one of the best current recent performances of Hopkins that I've seen.
Dude.
He is full on
Hopkins.
Hopkining the fuck out of
We
that
haven't seen
show.
his
He's just
Hopkins.
Hopkins the fuck out
We
of
haven't seen
it.
this Hopkins
He's
since,
not.
like,
He's
what,
not
Red
phoning that
Dragon?
shit in at all. He's been paycheck moving for a while.
Yeah, let's see, we haven't seen this level of Hopkins since what? Red Dragon?
He gives a
Maybe?
shit about this movie,
Like,
this show.
he
Like he
fucking-
gives
I mean,
a
he
shit.
put in work.
What
He
about
did.
what about
wait,
Thor, Dark World and shit?
He has he has a couple moments, but you're not king.
You're not.
I can't take him
Yes.
seriously because he has an eye patch in that.
Whoever shall possess this. Oh, good.
All I gotta say is, yeah, Westworld is one of the best reimaginings of a concept that I've seen in a long time. Because the movie, I love the fucking movie.
Love it.
Fucking your brain.
I fucking love Future World.
I was gonna say Future World.
They're fucking cheesy, fucking fun. They're great, but the concepts were great. What they did with this series with HBO was outstanding.
Yep.
Outstanding. I have no complaints.
And honestly, like Westworld, that is actually I would say the template that should be looked at when deciding whether or not to reboot something. Is that Westworld? I love the original Westworld well before this movie was or the show was even talked about, but it's not something I would have been upset about if they decided to remake. I would have been like, really, like come up with something new, and then I would have moved on with my life. I wouldn't have been pissed like Ghostbusters style pissed. But they took that concept and they expanded on it, and they created something new out of it, and they built on it because the original
science.
movie
That should be
doesn't
number
delve
4.
in nearly as much as the series.
Not
That
at
should
all.
be number 4 in that criteria thing
Not
that
at
I
all.
came up with
Yeah,
earlier.
No,
is
they
expand
Can
upon.
it be expanded?
Yeah.
And can it be modernized so that you think more about
Well,
it?
and I got one to add to the fucking the fire of things that need to be rebooted, and I'm talking about expanding upon, but still kind of in the spirit of the original, because you cannot do this film as a remake without being unbelievably campy and ridiculous. I want to see a goddamn remake of Chopping Mall.
Really? Shopping mall?
Shopping
You
Mall.
went with shopping
I was
mall.
waiting in anticipation. What's it gonna be? And it's
Shopping
was
mall.
really hoping it would be
Shopping
something
mall.
good.
Oh, you fucked that up, Hobbit.
No,
Yeah,
what brought
I
it
was
up
gonna say
is
Terminator.
the most recent episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they mentioned Shopping Mall in the conversation, talking
You talking
about
about with the androids?
AI and stuff.
Yeah.
Which comes into the last episode that you guys listened to as AI.
No, so I don't care to see a reboot of Chopping Mall.
No,
Like-
but it made me think that
So no, we want to reboot of Silent Night, Deadly Night, guys. That's what we want. Right?
all for
Stepfather.
that. I'm all for
Yeah,
that.
reboot
Reboot
of
of
Stepfather. Boom. Done.
Ghoulies.
let's get a reboot
I mean,
of
AI, you
Airborne.
might as well reboot 2001 and
I'll say this from the beginning because I wasn't on the AI episode, even though I was originally supposed to be. Shut up.
I wasn't
The
on there.
movie AI, and I don't know if you guys talked about it because I
Fuck,
haven't listened
it's
to the episode.
because it's
terrible.
terrible. It's
terrible.
terribly done.
Well, that's because it was Pinocchio. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was
I
Pinocchio.
mean, down to the goddamn blue fairy, it was Pinocchio.
There's no
Yeah.
strings on me.
All
All right, Ultron, settle down.
Did I get shit for that? Did I get shit for that on that
You did.
episode?
Yeah, you did.
Everybody give him shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're trying to take something that, again, it goes back to like what you were saying with Exorcist and things like that, where these movies and these shows they came out at the exact right time.
Mm-hmm.
They captured imagination. They captured everything the way they did. Now, when that fades over time and you come up with a reimagining of it and a reboot of it like Westworld, if it's done well, it can stand on its own. And it will stand on its own. Westworld, if you've never seen the original stuff, Westworld is still phenomenal.
Absolutely.
I think
And
reimagining
agreed,
of
it's
Howard
got to
the
stand
Duck.
on its own.
It's got to stand on its
I
own.
think
That's
Howard
why
the
the
Duck could do the
Ghostbusters
same
movie.
Fuck
thing.
you with Howard the Duck and Monster Squad every time.
You and fucking Squirrel Girl, dude.
You want to see a reimagining of
Oh,
Howard?
that's not a reimagining of shit.
No,
Like,
he's
has there
really
been a
imagining
Squirrel
the
Girl?
fucking Squirrel Girl.
I'll actually back up Hobbit on this one. Tom brings up goddamn Howard the Duck. It seems like every fucking episode.
Squirrel Girl
I
is
haven't heard
just a
Squirrel Girl
terrible
from
idea.
this
He's got a
motherfucker in
goddamn
few
duck
weeks.
boner, and it looks like that.
You won't bring
So,
up
like,
Aaliyah
the
Thompson, but
All right. We're going to digress and go outside and talk about this a little bit more.
I'm
But
gonna
thank you guys so much for watching and listening. It's always a pleasure to do this for you guys. We have an absolute blast. As always, follow us on social media by going to guipodcast.com and going to the links page and let us know what you want to hear on future episodes at geeksunderdtheinfluence@gmail.com. GUI Podcast RVA on Twitter, or our Facebook is probably the best way to stay in touch with us. And we're coming up on 2 years, and episode 100 is going to be happening around like late April, early May.
Is it going to
Holy
line up, or
shit.
is it going to be a little off?
It's going to be
It's anything like Hobbit, it'll be a little
slightly past our 2-year anniversary by like a week or two.
that should be just before like DC stuff and Supernatural.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. That's going to be probably the right after
We get
episode
to
100.
start a whole new
Yeah.
100 with that.
So we got a lot of stuff planned for GUI, including additional podcasts adding to the GUI network.
True.
So stick around and follow us on GUIpodcast.com and all our social media to find out about all this stuff. And as always, I'm Mike the Hobbit Bickett, and join us or die.
Shut the fuck
Shut the
up.
fuck
Hobbit.
up,
Fuck
Hobbit.
you.
I like you, Hobbit.
Oh, that's super sweet.
I heart you.
No, go kill yourself, seriously.
Oh, God damn it.
Hashtag Trump Nation.
All right, guys.
Sad face emoji.
Sad face emoji. Did you just millennial at us? Is that a thing that just happened?
I totes did.
Poop emoji with Trump hair.
Whatevs.
See, this is why you should watch the live stream, because the audio is like cut at this point, and we're still...
We're just still moving
No, I
around
can still
talking.
hear us in the mic. In the headphones.
Yeah.
We should all do stop motion.
We're
Just
still
fuck with it.
alive, still
Act
here,
like
a freeze frame.
buddy.
Like in the 80s sitcoms, like
Never got back to
Act
you
like the
about
singer
what
will
you'd
get
like to
fucked
see.
up.
Yeah.
Like,
Nope, I can't hear you.
There's a lot of things that
Oh,
could
on...
be, like
Mr. Herman?
people brought up stuff that I didn't even think about.
You still sounding nerdy as shit.
it's going on right now.
Stop.
come on,
Is that
DJP
better?
pants.
Oh,
See, that
wait.
was the thing. One of the things I had said about it.
Can you hear it?
Nope.